Warning. The following show features reviews from wildly unprofessional critics operating without the supervision of professionals. The thoughts and opinions held by these individuals are not to be taken seriously and do not come from a place of intellectual integrity. This show doesn't reflect the opinions of Criticless or its users. Viewer discretion is advised.
What's up? What's up? What is up, everybody? Hello, and welcome to another episode of Criticless Cast Unhinged. Today, we are going to be talking about Fantastic Four First Steps. This is like the second big summer blockbuster, I think, as far as like the ones that everybody's like, everything hinges on this. It was Superman. Everything was hinging on Superman. And now it looks like DC might be in good shape. And then everybody's like, oh, the Fantastic Four is out and everything for Marvel is hinging on this movie. And so the question is, can Fantastic Four save Marvel? It is a big question, and everyone is asking it. And if you've been looking at the social medias, there's one review in specific that asks another question, and it's, can Fantastic Four beat you off? We are here to answer that question, whether it does or does not, because we just got out of the theater, and we are ready to talk about it. But as usual, before we do all of those things, we're going to be talking about our culture for the boomers. We're going to be talking about what's streaming, what's in the news, all that, and then we'll get into our review and let you guys know our thoughts. But I'm going to introduce the usual Spud Specs, Mr. Christopher Cowles.
Hello.
And Mr. Matthew Verlaque.
What's up, everybody? Already tongue-tied.
All right. Matt's just, he's starstruck from being on the show with Drunk 3PO a little bit ago. So that's what it is. Yeah, because if some of you might be coming over to the channel new, if you've just found us, then welcome. Really glad to have you. And you're probably already familiar with Criticless. But either way, welcome to our channel and what we do over here on this show. It's a little bit different and a lot more unhinged than what Father Jay does over on his channel. We got to remember to keep it between the lines over there. So, but yeah, so over here we keep things a little bit more unhinged, and we're excited to talk about this movie. But what's up, chat? Hello, everyone. I see a lot of the usual folks up in here. We got Gary, Banjo, Sandwich, Worthington. What's up, brother? We got Wasp. We got Miss Criticless. Hello, dear. I haven't seen you in like 2 days. And Crisco, what's up, brother? And yeah,
Troy.
Yeah. What's going on? Is Troy in here too? Yes, it is. Last call with Troy Preselli. So what's up, bud?
And as Troy is going to say, sooner or later, make sure you guys like and subscribe, please.
Yep, he did.
Like 800. We're trying to get to that 1,000 mark. So if you're new to the channel, please sub. It'll help us so much.
Yep.
Really appreciated.
Yep. As Matt said, do all of those things, and obviously create a Criticless account if you don't have one already, because if you don't, then what the heck are you even doing out there? You need to get an account on criticless.com or download the app in Android and Apple app stores to be reviewing movies and television shows right away. Go ahead and do that. Join some communities, some groups, all that, and make some friends. And hello, Netters Network. And actually, you were in the chat last week. I know some of you guys were, and we're talking about wanting to be able to raid our channel. We actually have it finally fixed and set up to where other people can raid the channel and have folks come over.
Nice.
I figured it out. It took me a little bit, but you know, after digging around in all of the YouTube sub menus, I was able to figure it out.
Nice.
So anyways, guys, how are y'all doing? How's things? How's life?
You know, I'm doing great, actually.
Yeah?
Yeah, all things considering. Busy season is done-ish.
Nice.
Kind of. I charged Mecklenburg County $2.2 billion for taxes.
About to be rolling in that dough.
Yeah.
No, for the man.
Yeah, I don't get that. I get the smallest of fractions of that. But no, it's good. Work's died down a little bit, so
Good.
I'm happy. taking time.
Nice, good, because you've been wide open. So glad to hear things have chilled out.
Legs wide open.
I don't think
For the government.
That's exactly what Creed meant.
That is what they were talking about for sure. Sure. I'm exactly sure that was what it was. And yes, Wasp, we are in North Kakalaki.
We are.
That's right.
Yep. And Matt, how are you doing, bud?
I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm starting to ramp up for vacation because after our show next week, we're going on vacation. We're
Hell
doing a road trip to Wisconsin.
Nice.
You
have a little
some cheese.
lake life.
Mm.
Oh, that is high on my list. It's like I want some pierogies and I want like cheese.
Yeah.
It's like I'm gonna come back with a couple like blocks of cheese. I have a cheese cooler.
You can come back and not
I'm not
shit
gonna
for like a week.
I don't shit on when I'm traveling anyway. I got like locked right up. You guys know that.
Yeah. Matt has the anti-travel shits. He the second he starts traveling, just can't go. You know?
It's because I travel. I used to travel a lot, so my body would just be like, you don't need to go. You're good. It doesn't hurt. Like I'm not like in pain or anything. I'm just gonna go right now. I'm cool, guys, for a couple days.
All right. Yeah.
It makes it really great for traveling.
It's those stranger danger toilets, you know? You gotta
You can't
your
trust
poop's
those.
gotta be comfortable with the facility that is receiving.
Right. That makes sense. That's like I actually went to camp. Chris and I used to go to the same camp when we were kids.
Mm-hmm.
And Chris probably knew this, but there was one year that I did not shit for an entire week because I didn't want to shit in the camp toilets.
Yeah.
So I remember riding home just like
fair enough. Yeah.
It was rough.
I know everything about your bowel movements.
It's true.
So your BMs and me.
Yep.
I'm DMing your BM.
Yeah.
Is that a thing? Is that what
that would
kids
be
say?
a weird thing. That's what all that is. That is exactly.
We'll start it here. It's fine.
Yeah. But and man, my Dixie apparently lived in North Carolina as well for 17 years.
So did
That's
Wasp.
awesome. Yeah,
lived in the Durham area. Yeah.
It is a wonderful state. Now Durham, Durham's all right.
It's gotten better.
It has gotten much
I
better.
drove through it the other day.
Yeah.
The problem is with Raleigh, Durham, Chapel Hill area is
traffic.
So traffic and there's so many people there.
Mm-hmm.
Like Charlotte's really busy, but like and is expanding exponentially. But that's why we live on the outskirts. But that area in general, like there's so much going on there. So freaking busy.
And it's college kids, obviously, because it's like the trifecta. They're all fairly close to each other.
Area too, and government and all that stuff since the capital. Yeah. So, anyways, but yes, enough of North Carolina talk. You guys came here to hear us talk about all sorts of things. One of those things is our culture for boomers. Matt, you want to go ahead and give us the click?
I'll do it.
Now, as some have dubbed, this is just the segment where you get blamed, and I explain to you the things that are happening in culture that you might or might not have missed, and there are probably quite a few things. Now, normally I preload this screen, which I was not intelligent enough to do today. So let's see here. Let's see what I can do. Do we have a screen presented, Matt?
We do. We do. I see TikTok.
Did I? Yep. You see that? All right. And obviously, I'm a youth. I'm down with the youths, so I'm on the TikTok. I know what's going on, and that's why I'm here to help you. So, guys, before we do anything, I'm just going to show you this video that got 17 million views. It's just a little quickie here, just to kick things off.
Sure.
Oh.
What the fuck?
Holy shit. Am I okay?
No.
Amazing.
What the fuck?
Holy shit. Am I okay?
No.
My dude's lip is absolutely busted.
Brother.
Yeah, but it's not gushing blood yet. They cut it too
No.
short. That's like my goal is if I'm ever in a situation, I see some crazy shit happen, I'm like, I
Right.
swear I'm not going to stop recording.
No.
I will get this whole thing on video and then I will freak out.
The fact that, and like it was clearly, it was probably like a husband and wife or a girlfriend, and he was like trying to be just a badass and scared.
He's like, watch this Tokyo drift, babe.
Yeah. And
Watch
just
this.
ate a shit sandwich.
Yeah.
Now
a pro,
for over 15 million people to see. So, sucks to be this guy, but at the same time, what a boss.
I mean, he popped up like, am I
Right.
okay?
Dude, yeah. He handled it like a pro.
Dude,
Right.
the way he bounced back from that, just absolutely impressive.
Yeah,
First step, fix your shirt.
Yeah.
Step 2, Is the face okay?
Right.
He's
It's a
got all the
moneymaker, man. It's a
priorities.
moneymaker.
Exactly.
He was.
Yeah.
He's just like, how's the face holding up here? So yeah. He clearly came out all right. So that's good. We didn't have to do a rip for the poor guy. So he
Unlike so many other people these days.
Yep,
Oh.
for sure. And we will be talking about all of that as well. I saw that in the chat. So guys, I'm ready to break your souls, your spirits,
Let it rip.
your hearts.
You think I have a soul?
What year does someone have to be born in to be considered old?
I feel like 2001. Yeah, 2001.
Okay, why 2001?
Because I feel like at that age you're just like old. Yeah. You can't do anything.
How old are you when you're born in 2001?
I wasn't born.
Oh, so you don't know?
No. You were
What year does someone have to be born in to be considered old?
You should map
You got it right.
Yeah.
Like before 2000 to like 1995.
Why?
I feel like they're just too old. Like they can't go to parties, they can't go to concerts, no clubs.
They're gonna have to like start.
I literally can't.
Offended.
Yeah, they have to get employed and like take care of like kids and stuff.
Yeah.
like
Mhm.
1990.
That's true.
Yeah, like 1990.
Okay, why 1990?
Hey.
Because like they're like 40.
Yeah,
they're like 40 or something like that. Probably around 2000.
Let's math that out there real quick.
Well, we are close.
We are, but
I'll
we're
say.
not 40.
Right.
I mean, y'all
True.
are closer
Yeah.
than I am. And
No,
I'm
like,
a 90 baby.
You're a sweet summer child.
You are. a
You
90s
can't claim
baby.
to be an 80s baby though.
No, I would never want to be an 80s baby. 90s were the best.
Okay,
80s
well,
babies are a little weird. If you know what I mean.
that's fair.
I mean,
True.
accurate.
Yeah.
But granted, you're probably right at. Do you remember a point without the internet?
Sort of. I remember having a house computer, but we didn't have internet. And I remember we'd get like those discs in the mail,
Oh yeah.
like the
For
AOL.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like the 15-minute like disc.
Yeah.
But like we didn't have it until I was probably like 7 or 8 years old. And then I remember like the dial tone. Obviously, we all grew up with,
For sure.
if you're 90s, 80s, 90s, and younger,
Yeah.
or older, I guess, you like dial tone and the
Right.
AOL discs and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Which, I mean, to be fair, I always call myself a 90s kid because I was born in the 80s.
Right.
I was
Most of our
fucking 2
memorable-
years old. Right. I can't remember shit. Like, I only remember the 90s
Right.
as a kid. So
Yeah.
I still say I'm a 90s kid.
Yeah.
I claim 80s just because the 80s were dope.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
would, wouldn't you?
You know.
Yeah, boy, you were like 2.
I had 2 full whole years.
Yeah.
2 whole years
Yeah.
in the 80s.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, I
Mhm.
completely remember those years. Both-
Yeah. Remember
all-
Challenger exploding?
I remember it like it was yesterday. Watched it on the TV.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah, and there's a little bit more here, but
Yeah, I'd say 2000.
2003 maybe.
Okay, what about you?
1999.
1999. All right, why?
I
Wow.
just feel like that age, if someone told me that, I'd be like, wow, they're really old.
What year does someone
I am old. I mean,
You know,
that's the thing though. Like I'm at a point
Right.
like, yeah, I am old. I'm in my mid 30s. I've got a toddler. Like I remember Y2K and unplugging everything because I was 10 years old then. My dad was like, go unplug your TV and go unplug this and that because you didn't know what was going to happen on to January 1st to
Right.
2001.
Yeah.
Like
well, and look at it this way: we've got people like My Dixie and Caveat Ties. I think Troy as well. Like some of you guys are at least out here making us feel young, and we're at that age where we're starting to feel geriatric.
I'm still young at heart. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
I mean, Chris should be feeling the youngest. I mean, because he's not married and has no kids.
hell yeah.
Literally just does whatever he wants.
Yeah, right.
Good life choices.
Yeah,
That's
I
all
want to change
can
the thing,
attribute that.
Right.
personally.
You know?
Yeah. So what are you expecting? Just like all of our children to come take care of you when you're shitting your pants and like 100 years
Yeah.
old? Or are you just gonna like?
Brother,
No, that's why he has like 1,200 nieces and
That's true
nephews.
too.
also true. They're not going to take care of me.
No.
I'm just going to fucking skydive without a parachute and, say sweet dreams.
I agree with that.
Thank you.
If there's ever a time
Mm-hmm.
that's
Are you going to do a lot of cocaine?
first?
What was-
Yes,
Okay.
first.
Yeah.
But then like skydiving,
Yeah.
without a parachute, yeah.
Yeah.
No home for me. I'm okay.
Yeah. Going to a
I'm
home
good.
sounds
Look,
rough.
I've lived a great life.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm happy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Took a dark turn, I feel.
It took a real
Yeah, that's all good.
It took a
It's because
We're talking about
our
age.
mortality is coming at us. 'cause we're
It's
getting old.
coming
Yeah,
so
yeah,
quickly.
yeah. Just like the earth will whenever I get too old. They come real quick and just
You're on a commercial flight and they're like, sir, get back in your seat. Like, sorry, kid.
I'm out of here.
dude, and that actually happened. Like
Mhm.
you think that they have things in place to stop people from doing that, but that was like there was like a period of time here recently where there was like airline shenanigans out
Oh, yeah.
the wazoo, you know, like planes like Delta
Mhm.
fucking not working and shit. And some dude like opened the door on some flight and you know, it just showed like everybody like it's well, no, they weren't actually getting sucked
Right.
out, but they were like
Right,
Yeah,
fearing
yeah.
for their lives.
when
Well, that's like just the other day, a whole panel, like door flew off of a plane.
oh, it happened again.
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
the same
But that
thing.
was the plane's fault, not someone.
Yeah, it was a faulty.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was just another Boeing issue.
Is that more
Wow.
or less
Boeing
comforting?
is becoming quite problematic.
Yeah, stay
in
far away
town.
from Boeing. All right, so I feel like you guys are going to relate to this.
Okay.
I love it so much. This is just a prime example of dudes being dudes,
Dude.
and I love it so much.
He's actually beautiful. He's got this like tiny waist. I'm so jealous.
So yeah, that and like he's such a little sweetie pie. Honestly,
he's cutie and he's a sweetheart. You know, he's really the best of both worlds.
No, I literally think we all just love him.
we do. I love him.
He's the best.
Oh, wait. Here he comes.
Look at that walk.
wow.
He just like lights up all the rooms he's in.
What's up, you fucking idiot?
Sure.
Man, you look shit today.
What the hell are you wearing, dude?
Why do you have a goatee?
Real slick talk coming from three of the ugliest motherfuckers I've seen.
Fucking stupid
Where's your
ass.
stupid ass dog?
I love you guys.
God,
It hits hard.
dude, I'm so glad I'm a dude.
Right,
Man,
right,
Yeah, 'cause
Right.
you can say that and like think nothing of it,
right.
yeah.
and it's just like, all right, cool, done.
Right.
I don't
That's
think
hilarious.
nothing of it.
No.
I think that those motherfuckers love me
Right,
even more than anybody else who
Right.
would try to say nice things to my face
right.
and be liars.
And that's the thing, though, where it's like if it's chicks and they're like saying all that,
Yeah.
no, they don't
There's
mean
some
it.
underhanded
They're like,
shit
look at this
happening.
ugly bitch.
Right.
Look at this fat whore
Yeah.
walking down the road.
Yeah.
And they're like,
They
yeah,
actually say that to your face, and you're like, oh, you guys actually mean that.
right,
That's
exactly.
Yeah.
Like, oh, have you been eating too many ho-hos and ding-dongs lately?
cool. You remember when that was like an actual diss? Like, oh,
Right.
it looks like somebody's been eating ho-hos.
Yeah.
I don't.
It was one that I liked to.
I remember that in high school. You didn't go to public school, so
Right, he wasn't
you
a
didn't
public
get
school
that.
kid.
No.
Yeah, but that was definitely an insult.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, definitely. Like, oh, she's been eating some ho-hos.
Yeah,
Especially in like high school.
right.
Yeah.
And then if she
Burn.
was, promiscuous, and then you're like, she's been eating some ding-dongs. And you could be talking about either thing. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
I was about to dox somebody, and I'll hold my tongue.
Good move.
Yeah.
All right. And one more here. This thing got 20 million views because it hits hard. You know, there's some people that just relate with this.
Only men can do this.
Only men can do what? I feel like that's rude. There's nothing that men can do that women can't do. If anything, women do it better. But whatever. Are you down to like go get a coffee soon? Ow! Ow! You need to stop. But no,
I love
kinda
this
hungry.
cat.
I feel like a
Yeah.
breakfast sandwich.
Hmm?
What do you
That's
mean
something.
only men can do? I feel like that's crazy of you to say. So you think I can't do anything after you just told me how proud you were of me? Whatever. Are you hungry though? Or should we get like actual food instead of like coffee? Because I'm feeling that. We should go to the mall. I've been wanting a new pair of shoes though. Seriously. Wait, what did you say earlier that only men can do? That women can't? You said? Babe?
Oh. Okay, she's kind of cute. Or
Did I
sweet.
say something? Are you mad now? I didn't even do anything. You're just being petty. Whatever. Babe, seriously. No, seriously.
Only men can do this.
Yeah. It's pretty gang.
Uh,
2.2 million likes.
Yeah. I saw a different one.
Yeah.
Very similar to that.
Yeah.
And I was just like waiting for it, and then I realized like,
Yeah.
like 30 seconds in, I was like, oh yeah, I get it.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's just it's a thing. It's an
Yeah.
unspoken thing, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. I do.
You got it.
But let me be devil's advocate here.
Mhm, mhm.
Would you actually enjoy being with a woman who didn't talk at all?
Right.
Do your wives talk too much? They're not watching. It's okay. Sid, turn it off. Turn off the stream.
They're still in the chat.
Sid, turn off the stream.
In the chat.
Answer truthfully. Do
No,
they talk too much? Or do you enjoy
No, I
having
do.
conversations?
There are times, obviously, like there are times. I think more of what tends to be the issue, and we hear a lot of like you hear a lot of like couples people talking about this, where like men and women just communicate very differently.
Mhm.
Where quite often it's more so that like my wife will use like around 100,000 words to say a single thing, and I'm like one sentence.
It's the conciseness.
Yes, like
Sure.
Yeah, that's where I differ also with my wife. Is that I will cut a story very short,
right?
And we joked about this the other day, and her stories are 5 stories with backstory on every story, no matter what the story is.
Yeah.
So I will be talking for 3 minutes, and she will tell me a 30-minute story.
Right.
I love you.
Yeah,
and it's fine. And I just sit there quietly taking in the story.
We communicate differently, and there are times when I'm totally good with it, and there are times when I'm just like, I'm ready to get to the meat and potatoes. I'm just like, let's get to the story. Let's I want to hear what actually happened. So it always depends. But I think that's just a different communication thing. Which, as Was said, where was it? She said not all girls do that.
100%. Yeah, no,
and that is absolutely.
And that's where I was asking the question, because as being the single person, I've been on dates, surprisingly.
I've been on a date.
You know,
no, you haven't. What are these Russian brides? Just knocking your ear off?
Well, not brides yet.
Well,
they're in the interview
important.
stage. Yeah.
Right.
But you go out with people, or if you hang out with somebody and you're the only person leading the conversation, like you have to carry everything. It's exhausting.
Oh, it is.
It's sad. Like it's not fun. Like, so there's a good balance. Like I completely understand. There are some.
We know some people.
Yeah.
That could suck the air out of a room with what they have to say.
Yeah.
So I mean, it depends.
Yeah.
It depends on the person. All women are definitely not like that, but it is funny. I got a kick out of it.
Yeah, no, it's a funny video. But not to get into the meat and potatoes of it, but it is.
No shade. And as Caveat Ty said, my wife has to repeat everything, and that is there's definitely some truth to that, but I think I actually have to repeat myself more. But it's because she claims that she cannot hear the frequency of my voice. I don't know what that means. That's her claim.
Toned it out.
Yeah, I find that to be a lie. But yes, so I think we're gonna go ahead and pivot out of this culture for boomers. But you guys are welcome. I've cultured you once more. You know what's going on the interwebs. You know what's happening out in the wild.
Thank you.
And
I appreciate you.
Yeah, you're welcome. I've got to keep you up to date.
Yeah, you do. So I don't know. I just found out today that 3 people died.
Right. You didn't know. You didn't know that any of the celebrities had passed away. So
crazy.
Yeah. But I think we are going to go ahead. We're going to do a quick news segment because last week we didn't do what's streaming at all. But we will go ahead and talk about some news. And per usual, we get to get those headsets off. And that was the thing I mentioned earlier. We were on the Monday Hangover stream. If you're not subscribed to that channel, go subscribe to the Monday Hangover channel. We're trying to get that one monetized for Jay and Mo and those guys. And that is a Criticless adjacent show that focuses around Criticless reviews and the community and things like that. So definitely sub to the
and on Monday afternoons you can see Blaine's beautiful face.
That's true.
Talking about a movie.
We're trying to sell this. Yeah, we don't want to scare people away.
You can smear Blaine's good name every Monday afternoon.
That's true.
It's like what, like 4-ish Eastern time, like.
And we can't say it. It happened off stream. We won't talk about it, but there's word on the street of a big time celebrity coming on a Monday Hangover show soon. So we'll see if that happens. But everyone knows Jay and knows his antics and the folks he knows. So yeah. But so talking about some news, there have been a few things happening, but there's one big story, really the main thing that I kind of wanted to touch on because there's not a lot of like big news happening right now. Just some smaller things. But the big thing that everybody's talking about today, obviously, is Hulk Hogan. The 90s kids. Folks are getting hit hard this week. As Chris said, 3 people have passed away this week.
At least.
Yeah, at least 3 people. Matt said there were actually even a couple more than that, but the big ones just being Hulk Hogan and then Ozzy Osbourne, and then also the guy from
Family Matters?
Not Family Matters. No.
Huxtables. It's from the Cosby Show.
The Cosby Show.
Yeah.
Had passed away as well. And so there's just it's been like one every day. It's kind of wild. And asking about Dean Cain. Nothing happened to Dean Cain, right? What are we talking about?
No,
Please God, no.
Yeah, he's about to be devastated. Oh, is Dean Cain going to be on? You scared me there for a minute. I was like, he's friends of the community that we were all with. Like, tell me nothing happened to Dean. You freaked me out. Yes, and Malcolm Jamal Warner is the other guy that passed away. But yeah, so Hulk Hogan has passed away. In my other office that I do streams from, I have him up above my head. He's going to be looking out over me.
Now he's just an angel watching what you do.
Watching from above. Yeah, he's going to be missed. I mean, a lot of us have really great memories of him. He was the dude when we were kids. He was the guy. And he has passed away at 71 years young. Super sad.
Super early. Like super young.
Yeah.
Younger than my dad.
Right. Right.
My dad's getting old.
Yeah. That's real old.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they said, so apparently he lived in Clearwater. They said that he had a cardiac arrest. So a heart issue.
Yeah. Takes us all, man.
And something's got to get us all. They basically, this article talks about, Hulkamania and all of the stuff that made him famous. I mean, really what blew him up was being a part of the WWF and the WWE and, him being around in the 90s. And funny enough, I have to throw some shade in here talking about his steroid controversy in here. And I was curious to see if they were going to throw shade in a lot of these articles because this past year he came out. I know. With this past year, he came out and supported Trump and stuff, and so people turned on him pretty hard this past year. But I mean, it's like whatever.
Fair enough.
It's funny. I didn't watch wrestling at all. I was aware of who he was, but like how I knew Hulk Hogan was his family's reality show,
right?
Called Hogan Knows Best.
I forgot he did that
because
Hogan's Heroes. It's a good show.
But it was just funny because I was like, yeah, I know he's a wrestler. I know he's like red and yellow and dramatic. And
red and yellow.
Yeah, because that was his outfit, right?
It was.
Until he had to change it at some point. I watched a documentary about this relatively recently.
Wow.
I don't fully remember. But
really?
What?
You watched a documentary about Hulk Hogan?
Actually, my wife did, and it was about
she watched
WWE. It was. I don't think it was specific WWE. It was about Ted
McMahon.
Yes, the Ed McMahon documentary, which expands his entire career, which Hulk Hogan was very important to the early years of.
Yeah.
Great documentary series. But yeah, so I just remember being like, this guy's dramatic. And it was like on MTV when I was in high school. So I would just sit there and kind of like watch it when I was bored, just being like, this guy's crazy.
Well, and apparently
his daughter's hot.
His daughter's hot. Yeah, well, and apparently Netters said that also that Chuck Mangione passed away as well, who's a
Chuck.
He's
Chuck.
Yeah, he was a musician, been around for years, and I'm sure no, I wasn't sharing this one because I'm doing like individual screen shares. I was gonna share it, but so he passed away as well. And caveat Ty said, wasn't it the guy from 3 Ninjas 4? And yes, Hulk Hogan was in 3 Ninjas 4. And actually, the thing that I wanted to personally bring up was this: my absolute favorite and most sexy Hulk Hogan show is Thunder in Paradise. The show was freaking awesome. Chris, I feel like you would have watched it. Did you not watch Thunder in Paradise?
Never even heard of it.
Really?
Yeah.
Look, okay.
Yeah, I'll say I hadn't heard of this until
y'all hadn't heard of this
earlier.
No.
Oh man, let's see.
Okay, was it on
videos? Hold on, I'm gonna have to do some work here.
Is this even
Are you gonna
anything?
No, it's not streaming anything. I bet you can watch it all on YouTube. Like it's one of those, I watched this show a lot as a kid, and it was awesome. If you have never seen this show, Thunder in Paradise, you absolutely should. I mean, overview here. Thunder in Paradise was a 1-hour action adventure TV series from the creators of Baywatch, which starred Hulk Hogan and some other folks and basically it was a syndicated TV show, and they did end up canceling it. But part of what made it awesome was that they had this freaking boat that was super cool, and it was kind of like if Baywatch was even cooler, and there were like guns and weapons and hot babes in bikinis, and like they were going on secret missions and blowing things up.
Yeah.
And Baywatch was awesome as well. I recently
no babes in bikinis though, not in Baywatch.
No bikinis there.
Clark recently, my son, discovered Baywatch recently, and he's
like the classic
Baywatch.
Because the new movie was
the new movie was good. Not appropriate for him though, but the Baywatch show was appropriate. And
Clark will decide what's appropriate for Clark.
That is very true. But yes, Thunder in Paradise was awesome if you've never seen it. And later, Wasp, take it easy. Glad you hopped in.
Bye, Wasp.
But I miss Thunder in Paradise. I miss Baywatch. These types of shows, they were just they were awesome. I wonder, actually, it could be a cool thing to show here, and we'll probably whatever. I'm to the point I don't even care if we get copyright struck. But so do you guys
fought last week?
Yeah, right. We did get popped last week. So Matt, outside of that, you're not super nostalgic about him, Chris? Is there anything that you're kind of more nostalgic about with him in particular?
Hulk Hogan?
Right, like any shows or any just the wrestling stuff or
no. Nope.
Really? So neither
No.
one of y'all were big fans of his, or
No.
were you just kind of
No, for me, no.
No,
Ozzy's
I
death
never.
hit me more than this one did.
right?
This one was like, oh, legend has passed, but
Right.
I did not have an emotional
Yeah, it's
response.
surprising. Right, exactly. It's surprising, and you
Yeah.
know, catches you off guard. But
Right.
I've no tears or have been shed for me. I mean,
Right.
not that I'm happy that he's dead.
Right,
It's
right. You
just
just
I
weren't a
don't
big,
relate that
huge
to any.
fan.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. No, I loved him as a kid. I played a lot of the video games back in the day, like that had him in it.
Like
It was just-
WrestleMania
games.
watching some wrestling at friends' houses. I never watched it at home. It was always wrestling was something that I watched at friends' houses.
Yeah.
But I was able to find the trailer for this, and you know what? We're gonna play the sound. I don't know if you hear it. It's like,
Hurricane Spencer,
yes, it is.
the hottest hero of the high seas.
The hottest hero of the high seas. Look at that. Like I said, guns.
More guns.
He's got the boat.
Look at that boat.
He's got the
Anyone
boat.
who fires a weapon at you. Thunder will lock into anyone who even.
Babes,
Look at that iPad.
An iPad.
He's got the guts. He's got the girls. And he's about to lose what he loves the most. You sucked everything you own into that boat. You're an hawk over your eyes, which is very high.
Let's just say Spence is on the hook. All we gotta do is reel him in.
But when a beautiful woman makes him an offer he can't refuse.
Let me get this straight. You're willing to pay me to marry you?
If you don't get the money, you lose your boat. If I don't get married, I lose my hotel.
This confirmed bachelor is forced to say, I do. And when the bad guy...
Awesome
Dude,
plot. I mean,
fucking fantastic.
dude, awesome plot. The fact that the plot is that his entire life is sunk into a boat and he has to get married.
Yeah.
And if he doesn't get married, then the lady's going to take his boat.
Yeah.
That's the show.
For
Freaking amazing.
That sounds like it's straight out of Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it is some Florida shit. This show.
I was gonna say, like, if you go to the coast of North Carolina,
Right.
there's somebody who's willing to do this.
Right.
He has sunk all of his money into his boat,
Yep.
and he's willing to get married to some foreign hottie.
Yeah.
That'll pay him for
To
it.
save his
Which
boat.
obviously, like, who wouldn't?
Right.
Yeah.
But and the boat was kind of had like some Knight Ridery vibes to it of like the whip bands and it was just super cool. And I mean, it makes sense. It was tied to Baywatch too because Baywatch had the super cool boats in Baywatch. And oh yeah, there was a Baywatch boat. It had 2 jet skis on the back of it, and they could take the jet skis off of the boat and go save people.
I mean, that sounds about right.
It's so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Never has the Coast Guard been hyped up so much
Facts.
as right now.
Yeah.
They got real cool jet skis, boats.
Yep.
It's not even the Coast
Sign
Guard.
up
So that's cool.
Right.
Right.
But
It's just the lifeguard force that.
A good.
right. And everybody's
Good ad.
pointing out, like Gary, he's got the mullet in this. The mullet was awesome.
Oh,
like this was
sleeveless shirts.
It's a
He's
vibe.
got his do-rag on. I mean, that's the classic Hulk Hogan. Even if you didn't like watch his stuff, like I
Right.
did, like you know that's his icon.
Yeah, and as my Dixie says, a Tuesday in Tampa. So yeah, for
Yep.
sure. But yeah, rip Hulk Hogan. If you can find that show, absolutely watch it. It was so good. He was an absolute legend. Love the man.
For sure.
Watched so much of that show. He was an icon. He really was. Regardless of whatever controversies he found himself in, he always managed to rise above it. And he was just a cool dude. But yeah, so another thing that and Suburban Commando, yeah, Snake brought up that. That's another big one he did, and we are talking about reviewing that on Monday Hangover.
Yeah.
It's next Monday. So if you pop in on that show, there's a good chance we'll be talking about that movie. Now, the next piece of news that I was going to talk about here, let's see. Am I actually going to talk about that? We had some other. Okay, so I don't know if you guys saw this. This is what we'll bring up since we're talking about the MCU, since we're talking about Marvel. I will pull it up. Here we go. So yes. So Geeks and Gamers wrote an article talking about how Kevin Feige doesn't understand Marvel's problem. But I saw this article come through and it reminded me about some comments that Kevin had made and the things that were happening over at Marvel. And I was going to ask you guys if you had seen anything about it and were familiar with it, which is essentially that Kevin Feige is doing press with all of this Fantastic Four stuff. And basically he's like, hey, so we've got a few shows coming. I think they've got, I don't know if there's any more movies coming. And then we're going to get Avengers of Doomsday.
Yeah, I was about to say it's right into Doomsday and
Right.
Secret Wars or whatever they're called now.
Yeah. And so he's like, look, y'all are getting Avengers Doomsday, you're getting Secret Wars, and then it's going to be, and he's like, everyone's scared of the word reboot or whatever, and he's basically saying that Marvel is going to get a reset. Now, he has not defined exactly what that is or means, but I think a lot of us, as Chris just said, cool. Like,
honestly, at this point, they have to. And the problem with all comic books is that you have your main characters.
Mm-hmm.
They have what created your brand, and they've used them already. And you can't just be like, oh, we're just gonna like, and this is what they've learned. You can't just redo Captain America.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna have to reboot it,
Mm-hmm.
and you're gonna have to do it in a way where it's a whole new
these
MCU.
new characters or whatever.
It's just gonna have to be new.
Yeah. And I guess everybody's kind of means and what's actually happening. I'm sorry, we're freezing a little bit here. There we go. But yeah, so everybody's kind of theorizing what's actually going to happen. Obviously, there's no chance they're getting rid of Fantastic Four after just bringing them in, and if they're well received, these characters and stuff. I would guess. I don't see that happening. They can't reboot these again.
Yeah. You know what my bet is? They're going to do one more movie. It's going to flop.
So we're gonna. You mean the next two, and then a third movie?
For you talking about for Fantastic Four?
Oh, they're gonna do another Fantastic Four movie.
Yeah. They'll do one more Fantastic Four movie, and then it's not going to do well, and then they'll.
You think?
I think so. I think that's how it's going to play out.
Interesting. Yeah,
that's my gamble.
Be curious. A lot of it is going to pretend, or a lot of it is going to rest on with the Fantastic Four, is how well this movie is received, and then also these subsequent two movies that are coming out. It will all lay on that, and how much weight they're putting into these characters and Doctor Doom and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
But the big thing that he focused on when talking about this reset was that the X-Men were going to be a big focus, and then it's all new X-Men. All new cast, all new everything.
I appreciate that direction.
Yeah.
I think that's a good direction to move in for Marvel, because they haven't really done anything with X-Men aside from what Madness.
Deadpool and Wolverine, where they brought back the OG people.
Deadpool still doesn't feel like Marvel to me.
It doesn't.
It's still a Fox thing. But regardless, I feel like that's a great direction to go. I think redoing X-Men is a great place to start.
Right. And it will give them time for a breather as well, I think.
The problem with the X-Men, I love the X-Men. The problem with the X-Men is you're throwing them back into a team-up situation where I almost think the reboot needs to go back to one hero, one villain.
Okay.
And they have not done that in freaking forever. Every movie, every show is like, hey, there's a bunch of characters, it's a team up, like, and you have to be aware of all this stuff. Now, I'm not saying they couldn't do that with the X-Men. Bryan Singer's X-Men obviously was successful in my books.
Right.
And so it did show that they could do that. I just don't know if that's the best way to start a new MCU.
And I think there is a way where they could let, as Caveat was saying, they need to rest for a couple of years. There is a way where they could let things.
Marvel won't.
Well, they won't. But what I'm thinking is they can let things rest some and basically just like not put out much movies, only like possibly X-Men or X-Men adjacent movies, so that the rest of the MCU has time to breathe.
Yeah.
And maybe even slowly introduce like, hey, here's a new Cap. Here's, maybe you get a Wolverine movie. Here's, Cap thrown into this, or here's a new Hulk or whatever. Like if they're bringing in these new actors and stuff, but they can keep some people that folks are enjoying, characters that people like, whatever. And that is the thing with this kind of, the one plus with dealing with all this multiverse stuff is that potentially they could jettison the things that they don't want, keep the things that are working and that people like, and it won't matter because it's just fractured universe mumbo jumbo.
Yeah, and that part does play in for some people, like for me, to get fully engrossed in the story or the universe or something. I want to have a contiguous universe. So like I understand from just like an eyes-on perspective, that's a great way to go, of just like resetting and not ignoring all your other stuff. It's just difficult for some people who are actually ingrained into the story. I feel like they had the secret sauce to begin with. They just haven't been able to replicate that. And the secret sauce being having all of these individual stories that people actually get attached to, starting off with Iron Man. That was like the beginning of MCU as we know.
And that was a gamble. I mean, Iron Man was not a popular character back when they did that. And they were like, they just got, like you said, it was just the right casting and the right director, and it made a great movie. Twisted just said that, hey, Twisted, that they need to put this on the shelf for a while. And I think doing the X-Men angle would be the smartest way. But the problem is, this is why they will never do this. They pump out 2 to 3 movies and 2 to 3 shows for Marvel.
Right.
Every year.
They'd have to step away from all of that.
Disney is not going to step back on their spending.
No, well, they are. They already are, actually.
I'll believe it when I see it.
They've started. There's literally, I actually posted about it the other day. They've already been like jettisoning things, even that they're like selling off shows that they haven't even released. Like there's a show called Nautilus that looks super cool. I shared about it on X.
Yeah.
I really want to see it.
Nautilus.
It seems really cool. It's about
feels like Sequest.
Yes. Well, it's about
League of Extraordinary. Not like
that character.
20,000 Leagues Under the Sea.
Yes, it's 20,000. Yeah, it's
not Ahab.
Not Ahab.
That's the white whale.
That's Moby Dick.
I know
you're farting so hard.
I can't remember his name either.
Yeah, I don't.
Somebody in the chat will know.
Yeah, well, it doesn't really matter.
Whatever, but it follows. The Nautilus is the name of the ship.
Yeah.
And
20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. Yeah,
it's all that. But the show looks very neat, and they sold it. And they were basically like, "Hey, we're not even releasing it."
Well, it's sold to AMC Plus,
Captain Nemo. Thank you, Chris.
Yeah, definitely weird because I don't know anybody that has AMC Plus.
Right.
So they like sold it to.
I mean, I guess whoever pays,
been the highest bidder, but
it is probably was. So they are supposedly having a lot of problems with spending all this stuff, and so maybe that will play in our favor. They'll pull back, even if we got like one quality show a year, and they stick in a very specific lane and stay away from certain characters, let them breathe, all that stuff, then it could work. I hope that he's listening to fans. I mean, like the Geeks and Gamers article is saying, is that, you know, Kevin Feige doesn't really understand it. I mean, clearly he really did get Marvel, and then he went off the absolute rails. And
I just really wonder what happened and why he doesn't understand. Like, he's not looking at the numbers and looking at how the fans are reacting. Because I mean, honestly, it feels smart. It does need a break. Marvel needs a break. So they could do like 2 or 3, one a year, or maybe one every like 18 months, X-Men movies. Do a Blade movie, keep it, because that's kind of separate, separate.
Yeah, they could really dig into all these obscure characters that they never have messed with.
And they could just be like, hey, we're not going to do Captain America, we're not going to do Hulk, we're going to give it like 5-6 years to breathe.
I mean, give us like the Dark Avengers or whatever. Do something totally different. I think that would be a way for them to get away from all of this.
For sure.
Is just to go full like totally different direction.
Yeah.
And you know, then they could
clean slate.
That would let them clean slate, and even if it's only like one a year or something.
Yeah.
But we'll see what they do with it. There's no guarantee, and he's still got people over him at the end of the day. So that's the other thing. And as Caveat was saying, it was, you know, with Perlmutter and stuff. But there's been so much shakeup with Disney, which if they don't get their crap together, like, I don't even know what's going to happen to that company in general. They've been
Disney.
Yeah,
they're going to be fine.
Yeah.
They got fucking diehard fans that'll fucking
sell
suck up everything.
They'll just sell off tertiary things that aren't doing well because they've acquired so many companies and assets that they can just start liquidating those off and then just be fine.
They got so many
parks are going to support them. Their movies or the kids' movies are still hitting like
so many streams of revenue that it doesn't matter if one thing doesn't hit 100% every time.
I agree.
It'll catch up with them eventually. I feel like if they're getting like 60-50% on Criticless across the board for every movie, it's going to die off. The excitement, the hype, you know, for all this
and all
stuff.
their shows are getting tanked into oblivion.
Yeah,
well, because they're not good. And I think they're trying to do their shows. I think this is their strategy. Their shows are to like be like, look, we're supporting lesser heard voices. Like
that's
Echo,
what
Ironheart. And that's what they're trying to do.
And we're making like dog shit out of these shows.
Well, yeah, but they're like, hey, we're going to support, you know, smaller characters and like these smaller voices. And then the movies will be for the big budgets. And it's not it's not working for them.
No,
like you're saying, like these shows are not.
Well, who's the audience for those things? Like no one was like, and that's the thing. Echo could have been phenomenal. Like, it could have been great. That character's super cool. They decided to cast someone who'd never acted in their life and was also an amputee and also deaf and all these things. And you're just like, you're just trying to check off all of these weird boxes and like cast this freaking like 18-year-old girl out of high school that can't act her way out of a paper bag. Like, no, sorry, but like she had no business being in that role. And it's like they're doing stuff like that. And it just it's part of the whole
deaf amputee that's like in real life.
Yes.
Yeah, and the character
wasn't
not
an amputee, and they literally built the amputee part into the character and all this stuff. It was horrendous. It was one of the worst things I've ever witnessed in my life.
I feel like that could have been cool. Like I would enjoy seeing.
There's elements that are cool, but she's such a small, minor character,
right?
That is one of those things where they're like scraping the barrel, which is why they need this reset.
Yeah.
Right.
Because they can't be like, oh, we're gonna start like making these like crazy, like really deep.
It's because they leaned, as Dixie said, it's because they leaned so hard in the DEI that they forgot to make the shit that they were making actually quality and good and interesting.
Yeah.
You can do that while still making things good and interesting if that's not the focus.
Yeah.
You know.
And I feel like having a good villain is 50% of the hero.
Right. Which killed me for the Marvels.
Yeah.
Like I didn't mind Spectrum, Captain Marvel, and Miss Marvel. I thought the villain was the worst part.
Well, that whole movie was,
and I was just like, there's a lack of a villain. Like there's a pseudo villain, but not really, and they make you empathetic to the villain because they're trying to capture that Thanos effect, where you're like, oh, I'm, I feel bad for the villain. No, that's not why we watch these movies.
Yeah.
Like tonight's movie, the villain was, you're like, oh god,
he's a
like,
showcase.
He's a bad guy.
Yeah.
Right.
Galactus,
Not right. It's not like
not
a
a good
case of like, oh, I understand. Like Thanos, we're all like, okay, I get where Thanos is coming from.
Yeah. And it wasn't even like a empathetic thing. It was just kind of like, I can kind of understand where he's coming from. In like Thanos, for me, it was just like obviously the worst way to go about it.
Right.
But I understand what he's saying.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. But yeah, so that's the little bit of news. We'll see if they actually do reset Marvel. But that's the claim. So we'll see if it happens.
Yeah, because as of now, they've only announced, the next two movies.
That's it.
And that's
and we've got a Wonder Man show coming.
Oh,
they've race swapped Wonder Man, so that's already going to catch some crap for that.
Who the fuck is Wonder Man?
Man's cool. He's
another character noise heard.
He's kind of like Marvel's Booster Gold, but you're probably going to say who the hell is Booster Gold?
Booster Gold.
He's this character.
Is that like a Pokemon card?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Gold booster card.
Wonder Man is actually pretty cool. He's like a super strength type of a hero that was an actor, hotshot guy.
Okay.
And he's a fun character, but this show could be terrible. I don't know. And like I said, they already bristled people by doing the typical race swap stuff. So it's like there's that can either be a hit or miss if you make it part of the character's persona or not. So we'll see. But I really wanted to touch on some things that were streaming. If you guys have been watching anything before we get into the review really quick. So we will do our what's streaming now. Matt, run the thing. All right. So I have not been watching a whole lot, so probably this is going to come mostly from you guys. I say not a whole lot. All I've watched is anime and played video games. But so
same, brother. Same.
Yeah. Perfect.
Yeah.
We got a vibe around here. So, but yeah, if you guys have been watching anything that you kind of want to, that is worth people watching, worth people checking out.
Well, I'm not going to be pretentious enough to say that people should watch it.
All right. Well, so what have y'all seen?
Sure, I'll start since you guys apparently haven't been watching anything.
Mm-hmm.
We watched this documentary. It's 4 episodes.
Okay.
Called One Night in Idaho: The College Murders.
Oh yes.
And so this was a murder spree that happened in 2022. Sorry.
Yeah, it's very recent.
So it's kind of like the end of COVID, all that. So kids were going back to college, and 4 college kids were murdered in their house.
Yes, this was a big deal. I remember when it happened.
Yeah, it was in Idaho, right on the Washington border, a small, sleepy college town kind of deal. And yeah, not a lot of people reviewed it.
Mm-hmm.
Not a lot of people have seen it, but it's actually done really well. So if you're looking at this picture, the girl up on the shoulders, I think the girl holding her, the dude, and the girl he has his arm around, all were murdered.
Jeez, so wild.
And the girl on the left, I believe, is one of the other girls that lived with them.
Okay.
But like this killer skipped 2 of the people in the house and went upstairs and murdered 2 people, and then went upstairs and murdered 2 more people, and then left. And so this documentary is interesting. I give it a rad because there's a couple things I didn't prefer on their storytelling aspects.
Right.
But it's a cool story. The first 2 episodes kind of are the emotional build. They're interviewing 2 of the 4 families. They're interviewing friends. They're kind of giving the backstory of what happened that day, who these people were, a picture in their life, their sorority and fraternity people.
Right. So had they solved this murder?
Yes.
They know who did it?
Yeah. So the first 2 episodes are kind of about that, about the murder. The third episode's kind of like the police investigation, and the fourth episode's kind of like a wrap up. And the reason that they finally released it, and that was another thing I didn't like about this. You could feel by the end of the fourth episode that this was filmed 2 years ago.
Oh.
And then they were waiting on the
more
court case
info
to be done. Because they wanted to have that like
first.
This is it.
Yeah.
So they I'm not gonna I guess this is news, but they did catch the guy eventually. And it's kind of cool how they caught him. Because that's what makes this interesting. This is one of those court cases where this guy thought he was smarter than everybody else. And they got him in the most
mundane way.
No, it wasn't mundane necessarily. Well, it kind of was, actually. Now that you say that. Because he left his weapon. Oh no, he left the holder for his weapon.
Okay.
Which had his DNA on it.
Of course.
That'll do it.
Genius.
So,
So this is worth checking out, though, you think?
Yeah.
And this is
we watched
currently
3
on Prime.
episodes in one night, and then we watched the fourth the next because it was like 1 in the morning. We're like, I gotta go to bed.
Yeah.
So that was super interesting.
Nice.
Yeah. That another thing I didn't quite like about it. Sometimes it seems to repeat itself a lot.
Right.
Where they're kind of keep trying to drive home how likable these people were.
Right.
Which is fine. Like I get it. They were like these likable teens. The problem with it is the storytelling aspect of them just kind of beating you over the head with how they're so likable.
Yeah.
Right.
I get it.
They've never done anything wrong.
Right. Ramos was wanting to know if this guy got sentenced yesterday.
I don't think so. He pled guilty. So they did a plea. He did a plea deal
like recently.
Yes, like 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
So that's why like or 3 weeks ago, and then they dropped the documentary like the next week.
Okay.
I think literally that's what they were just waiting for was for
the last bit of info.
Just so they could put a black screen at the very end saying, and on this day he pled guilty.
Right. So, Chris, what you been seeing? You said you saw something, right?
Not a lot. Yeah, no. I the only thing really I have been anime mode.
Yeah, me too.
For a hot minute, but I got back on. What is it called? The Rising of the Shield Hero. I mentioned that. Yeah. It was a while ago, and I watched like either the first season or the first mini episodes of the season. And I picked it back up, and it's good.
Okay.
I enjoy it. I know. I think I had mentioned before. It's very. Which come to find out, I'm not a huge anime person, but apparently a lot of these anime shows have this common thread of like harem situation.
Yeah.
There's no like actual sexual activity happening.
Right.
You don't see any peepees. You don't see any buppies. Well, kind of, but not really.
Okay.
But anyways, that like threw me off. I felt a little awkward about it, especially since like some of them see him as papa. So it's kind of like a weird
dynamic
like,
for age.
Yeah, like you have this animal like a chocobo. If you ever played Final Fantasy, or like it's this chocobo character, he got it as an egg, it was hatched, you raised it, and then it turns out that it's actually like a half chocobo or half
human
chicken, half human,
half hot chick.
Yeah,
naturally.
not even hot. I mean, she's a child.
Oh, okay.
And so it's kind of like a weird thing of like she sees him as a parent and has. I don't know. I'm not going to say like
questionable sexual things.
Yeah, it's just
anime
kind of like
is real weird about that.
There's another realm of anime I don't hit. I actually started this, and then I was like, I don't really like how this is going because that harem like thing makes me feel awkward. So I'm not going to watch.
Agreed.
That. So I stopped after like 2 episodes. I honestly forgot that I started it.
I feel the same way. I powered through though because there wasn't any actual like explicit sexual interaction between any of them, and the actual story of it is cool, or like the premise behind it is cool. There is annoying things about it where it's kind of like everything bad that can happen does happen, which can be annoying, right? Like obviously any good story is going to have like hard times applied to this person and then how they work through it, but whenever it's like every fucking thing is piled against this person, it gets a little annoying. So that part of it, but I think overall it's very Solo leveling-esque as far as like how the the universe is built.
Right.
It's like these people are teleported in from another dimension,
Right.
and they're granted this power because they're supposed to save this universe. And yeah, so I think the story or the universe side of it is very cool.
The art looks cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The art is standard
it's anime.
Yeah,
type
standard
art.
anime
and
that
it's
I
everywhere.
enjoy.
It's on Netflix, Hulu, Crunchyroll.
Yeah.
Like it's all over. So
Yeah.
yeah.
But I enjoy it. It was good.
Okay.
Like
Have
I've
you
watched
finished it?
I've watched the most recent. I've up to the most recent stuff.
Okay.
Yes.
Because and we've got Wolf Wizard with 100, we've got Jay Hailstorm with an 80 for the users with the 67, and another 100 from Fallout Man. So I mean, it's got really high reviews in Criticless.
Yeah, I would probably put it in the like upper 70s, low 80s.
Okay.
I would say.
Okay. So rad or most excellent.
Yeah, I would probably say rad because there are a lot of like things that I don't like about this show and anime in general that kind of fall into place.
Right.
But I think the premise behind it is cool. Like I love the whole solo leveling. Blaine called it that I would enjoy that.
Yeah,
shit.
I knew you would.
I enjoyed that. And this, I even watched this before I watched that.
Yeah.
And it's a similar thing of like, you actually get level ups, and like all that stuff. And I will say, I know probably a lot of people who have seen this will say about the seasons. The first season for this show is the best, I would say. The second season falls off, and the third season is even less so.
Right.
But I'd say the third season's the worst for sure for me. But anyways, I've talked a lot about this.
No, you're good.
But it's good.
You're good.
That's really all I've been watching.
Nice.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, there's really only like 2 things I've been doing, which, like I said, was video games, and I've watched a few animes. Now, I will say, if anybody was curious, and you're looking into Switch 2s, I know there's a lot of weird hubbub about the Switch 2 and Switch 2 price, and the fact that the games have gone higher in price and all this shit. Whatever. I have
fucking poor people.
Yeah, I mean, that's right.
Peasants.
No, it's just like obviously things are going to go up in price. I don't know. Like it's just I don't know that's a hill I want to die on. It's like games have been the same price forever. I remember being a kid and paying like a freaking $100 for a video game. So it's like, honestly, I feel like they went down for a long time and never went up and stayed the same price forever.
Right.
Brother, the cost of my house went up 50% in like 2 years.
Right.
So video games should probably increase by $10.
Right. It's like, and that's why I'm like, it's $10. Like, it's not the end of the world. I mean, whatever. Everybody's entitled to their opinions, but it hasn't ended my world. But I've been very much enjoying my Switch 2. I can say that I like it. I think it's a big step up from the last one as far as the quality of this, how the system feels, and the handheldness and the controllers. And it's not like Nintendo games are more cartoony and stuff as far as like your mainline Nintendo games. It's not like it's got the power of like my Xbox Series X or my PS5 or whatever, or my PC. But it still does a lot. But I've been playing the new Donkey Kong game, and it is so good.
I've heard so many good things.
It's great.
Yeah,
it's great. And games, let me say this: games do not have enough destructible environments.
Yeah,
this game has freaking destructible environments. They stay destructible, and unless you have to literally like tell the game to undo everything you've done to the environment for it to go back. Like it saves the shit you wreck.
Yeah.
Which is super cool.
Yeah.
Which is what things should be like.
Right.
Grand Theft Auto, for example. I will be so disappointed, and it's probably not gonna be the case. So I don't know why. But like you blow up, you drive into a building. I bet the building is not gonna be even affected.
Probably not.
Yeah.
But then I remember there was this PlayStation 3 game called Black.
Oh, dude, yeah,
and it was
that
one of
its claim to
first
fame.
games that had fully destructible environments, and then Battlefield now does it and stuff. But it's
Battlefield
why are
games
not all games like that?
Right.
Yeah.
We have the tech that can handle it. And this game is super cool. And just being able to just tunnel through the ground or through a wall, and you can just find hidden things. You do like this little scanning thing, and you go and you're like, oh, there was something just over there. And you just
banana.
banana. And you just like dig your way through a wall and you go get it. The game's just super cool. It's very fun. I'm loving it. It's apparently a massive game. I was talking to X-Wing the other day on a stream, and he was like, you're not even close to done. And I was like, I've played a ton of it. That's wild.
Yeah.
So, which is good. And he said the story actually goes some interesting places. So the new Donkey Kong is good. I'm really enjoying it. Cool. And yeah, but I am definitely enjoying it. And apparently Crisco brought up a game that has destructible environments, which is Teardown. I have not played that, but I'll have to check it out.
Exclusive? I'm not.
I've heard of it.
I've heard of it too.
I don't know
I've
if
never
it's
played
exclusive or not.
I'll have to see where it's at. But as far as shows, I will pull it up super quick. I have been watching this show. It's on Crunchyroll. It's called Gachia Kuda. I don't know. Yeah, weird name. Really crazy looking poster. The show is wild. It's basically about a little trash kid who gets exiled to a trash planet, and he can do really cool things with trash. That is the premise of the show.
All right.
Sounds really weird. So this is one of those that is a little more. I was looking to see if it had a rating on here, but it is like a little bit more of a mature anime. The art style is pretty cool. They do some interesting things. The show has some weird elements to it. I like it so far. I think it's really neat.
Are they trying to like get off their trash planet? Or are they just trying to exist?
Yeah, the whole thing is that he lived on a place where basically he was like a peasant, and all of the rest of the people in society were wealthy, but everybody where he lives throws their trash like off the planet. Like it literally it's like if flat Earth and you threw it off the side.
Yeah.
But you find out in
That's where all of our trash goes.
Right. But so he was a peasant, so he would go to the rich people's place and steal the rich people's trash and fix it up and make it nice. But anyways, he gets accused of a crime, and they throw him off with the trash. Turns out that it is actually a hovering island above a planet of trash where he lived. And there are actually trashy people much trashier than him down on the planet.
Yeah, that makes
One up the trash.
Yeah. And so it's a very interesting show. I like it. There's literally only been like 2 episodes, but there's going to be 24. I think it's a cool show. It's very kind of manic and wild and interesting art styles. It's a cool concept. I'm having fun with it.
Yeah. Did you finish Lazarus?
I did not finish Lazarus.
Are you going to?
I don't know.
Okay.
I
was just curious.
Yeah, I really don't know. It kind of
you just peters out.
It's
You're just like,
mid.
eh.
It's just kind of mid.
Yeah, there's no interest to finish. Like I powered through because I was like, I guess I won't be able to review it.
Right. Yeah, but I have started another like full-on anime show that I've been watching. I'll talk about it next time. But it's a very famous one. That's one of the like most popular things on Crunchyroll. But I'm making my way through it. I'll talk about it next stream.
Okay.
But Red Faction, Pickle Lips was talking about those were cool games as well, and they did destructible environments.
They were
very
good.
cool. Yeah, I miss destructible environments, so I'm very much enjoying Donkey Kong. I would love it in like shooters and things like that. That's when they're really cool. Like Battlefield Bad Company 2. Bro, Chef's Kiss, like the best. That was where it was like peak.
Battlefield 3 for me was peak.
3 was great too.
3 and 4 were both good.
Bad Company was just where it was at. I loved that game. But anyways, that's gonna be it. We've hit the marker. I know that you guys have been ready and waiting and willing. You're wanting to hear us talk about Fantastic Four.
Edging.
Yeah, we have been edging you guys, and so we're just gonna go ahead and get to the meat and potatoes of that thing. Matt, run the humpy ladies. So tell us, guys, how do you feel about potato skins? You know, we were talking about for 30 minutes before this show started. But no, so
stews.
Yeah, stews. We were talking about potato skins and stews and how they slough off the potatoes. But that's a whole other story for another day. You know, what we're here to talk about is Fantastic Four First Steps. This is the new film directed by Matt Shakman. It's starring Pedro Pascal.
Surprise!
He's only got 3 or 4 other movies in theaters right now that you can see his face on. So yes, it's starring Pedro Pascal, Vanessa Kirby, Eben Moss. We got Joseph Quinn. We got Ralph Ineson. We got Julia Gardner. There's a decent chunk of folks in this movie. So we are going to be really digging into this thing, letting y'all know our thoughts. We very much grazed over them on the Monday Hangover stream before ours started, but we want to let you guys know what we think and not just the Monday Hangover crew.
Yeah.
So that is the interesting thing about this stream is normally we are totally blind to what each other think. We actually have an idea now, so we can go ahead and let you guys know where we sit with it, and we'll give y'all our spoiler-free impressions for a little while, knowing that most of you guys have not seen it yet. So I guess what we will do is start with Chris. Yes.
Starting with me.
Yeah, we'll start with Chris.
Wasn't super hot on this movie. It wasn't that exciting or fresh. It was pretty par for the course of just like telling a story without excitement. For me, it was very flat. So I'm going to give it somewhere in the 50s. I haven't decided it yet.
Okay.
But it is a decent for me.
Yeah. And you didn't hate it or like dislike it?
Hate it. No.
Like you're not like this is a bad movie.
Correct. Yeah, it's not a bad movie. This is not Rotten Tomatoes. So being a 50-ish%.
It's not a bad place to be.
No, it's still above average. So yeah, it just didn't do anything unique enough for me to be like, hell yeah, like this is my jam. So it was pretty standard.
That's one of the things that I have noticed. The more and more we do this is that there's films you know it when you're in one.
Yeah.
Where you're just like, you feel it. Like you feel the excitement in the theater, you feel the buzz, and you know when you don't feel it.
Right? Yeah.
And so that is an interesting thing. Is clearly you didn't quite have the buzz in this movie.
Yeah.
But you also weren't like, no, this isn't good. You were just like,
it's not a bad movie. I'm not going to say that it is bad by any means. It's just not exciting enough for me to give it a higher score than a decent.
Right.
It was a decent movie.
A decent movie.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to go next, Matt, and then we'll finish up with you. So, and I did want to say, I pulled it up here. We already have 31 reviews on Criticless already. They are coming in hot. Yeah. So we have 31 reviews. It's sitting at a 64%. If any of you guys are among these, we will try and touch on some of these if you have reviewed it. But like we got Comics and right here who gave it 100%. Holy moly.
This movie?
So that's just this movie. That's a little teaser there. So now one thing.
All right.
Are you critic?
Okay.
So yeah, way to be a critic.
Hold on, let me find
one
it
thing I
down
did want to bring up is that this show or this movie is directed by Matt Shakman. If you, the name might not ring a bell, but I brought it up on the Monday Hangover show. Is that he's the guy that did WandaVision. I like WandaVision a whole lot, actually. It's my wife's favorite Marvel thing to date.
Yeah.
You were so on it. So
Yeah.
I loved the vibe, the feel. I loved the nostalgia, the different time periods, how they captured all of these different types of sitcoms and stuff. I thought it was impressive to do all of that in one place.
Sure.
And how they got the tone, the acting, the cinematography, all that. Right.
Yeah.
That would have been hard to do. And so when I heard that it was this retro futuristic Fantastic Four movie by the same guy, I'm like, if anybody can pull that off, as far as retro futurism, it's probably going to be this guy.
Yeah.
So after seeing it, and I have had time to marinate on it a little bit, I am actually sitting higher than I was when we were talking about it with the Monday Hangover guys. I'm not over the moon about this movie. I think that there are definitely going to be people that really like this movie a lot. There are things that I absolutely love about this movie. I like a whole lot. There are other things that I'm not a huge fan of. One of the big things, and Chris will touch on it later, is just some of the writing and delivery of and of some of these characters. Not great. I have some problems with some of that. We will dig into that. The depiction of one of the characters in particular, I was not crazy about, especially in comparison to the early 2000s Fantastic Four movies. There's one character but we'll get into that as well. But as far as my Criticless score currently, I think I will probably, honestly, with our score currently being in like the 64%, I might not be super far off from that.
Sure.
I can't decide because we were talking about it with Superman. There are things that I like about this a lot better than Superman, but then things that I don't. And I keep going back and forth as far as which one's better for me, because there are things that they might honestly be right there together.
Yeah. So that's honestly what I was thinking about, because I was comparing the two in my mind. Like literally, one was last week, one's this week. There's things I like about each movie and things I'll dislike about each movie. But it's funny because it's different things about the movies.
Yeah.
And for me, it's one of those things where I don't know. Obviously, my Superman review was lower, so I'll go ahead and say that I'm also in the rad territory. I'm still sitting around where I was last time, probably the 64, 65-ish%, where my Superman review was 50 something, because I was more cooled on it. But I think if I saw Superman again, I have an itch to see it again. And if I saw it again, I'd probably be like, I like this one more.
Right.
Whereas I don't know if I'd ever want to see this movie again. There wasn't enough in this movie for me to be like, I want to go to the theaters and see this movie again, because it is more of a drama. And this is kind of what I said earlier. This is more of a drama with superheroes versus being like an action-packed superhero movie.
Right. This is so that is a thing where I was thinking about it while watching it, and I kept going back and forth and I couldn't decide. And I think at the end of the day, I do like it more that you know, you get a lot of people complaining about these superhero films about not doing things different or being too much action or too much drama or too much whatever. Like, it's like, so for this one, this movie it does lean into some of the drama element more. I think that I think that it is paced well. I think that there is a good balance, but there are some slow moments in this movie. There is more drama in this film. And whereas like with Superman, where I'm like, yeah, kids are going to love this. Kids are going to eat this up. For this film, they're going to have to be okay with some of these down moments of like, you know, some of the just character development and things like that. But the big thing is that I think a lot of the things that people were worried about, which was Shia LaBeouf being Silver Surfer instead of having Norrin Rad, the OG male one, didn't know how I was going to feel about it. Liked it.
Yeah.
I thought she was good.
Yep.
Yeah. Didn't affect me at all. I was like, this is fine.
No.
Yeah.
I don't care.
I dig it. Like, you can have any Herald you want to. Like,
Right.
it doesn't have to be a male.
Funny.
Herald.
I saw there's a kids show called Smash Hulk Agents of Smash. And there's an episode where She-Hulk becomes the Herald.
Oh, nice.
Because Galactus comes and the Agents of Smash have to fight him, and she becomes, and I was like, this is funny.
Yeah.
Because then you go and watch this movie, and you know,
Right.
obviously she's the Herald.
Right.
But I just thought that was funny watching.
Right.
Having watched that episode of that show.
Did it there. Yeah. So she's only, as far as comics go, she was only in it like once. And so everybody was just kind of like, for real. Now, granted, we've already gotten Norrin Rad. That version is Silver Surfer in the older movies. And I thought this was fine. That character is normally kind of dry anyways. So it's like,
yeah.
You know, so whatever. And as far as her looking terrible, she didn't look bad in motion. I thought she looked fine.
And Superman looked worse in motion. If you're being honest about it, like, and I'm going to compare.
She didn't look like Gumby ever. You know, so there was that.
Yeah, no, I have no complaints about Silver Surfer.
No, how she looked was fine. So, and the other big complaint or worry, not complaint, I guess, was about Pedro Pascal. Thought he did fine, and there was a point in which he does kind of just become Reed for me. It worked. There was a point when I stopped seeing Pedro Pascal and I started seeing the character, which is good. The dude has been in too much lately, and you just see Pedro Pascal. Also, him in the press is obnoxious and terrible, and nobody likes watching him in the press because it just comes across as kind of creepy and weird. But I thought he did a good job in this movie. I thought he carried it fine. I think that some people stood above others.
Who was your stand-up?
I really like The Thing.
Okay.
I like The Thing. I thought that Eben did a really good job as that voice. I thought that they played him fun. But honestly, I mean, Miss Fantastic was probably kind of she did a very good job, and she's smoking hot.
Sue.
You know, Sue is she's a looker. I thought that they did. Most of them were well cast. I'm still not sold on our just
Human
Gwen
Torch.
as Human Torch.
And see, that was my favorite.
Yeah.
He was the one where I was like, I mean, obviously comparing him to Chris Evans.
He just can't hold
I
a
like
candle
Chris Evans better, but I enjoy out of this movie, the four of them, I liked him the most. Because he was still kind of like goofy and trying to be comedic and actually seemed to have like
more fun. He was the most fun.
He had kind of like had emotions throughout
did.
the whole time, where they were like upbeat or sad. He was the one that seemed to be not just serious the whole time.
Yeah. There was a dryness to this movie in some of these and Chris had said on the other stream, but it's with some of these characters and how they're delivered and whatever.
Yeah, the dialogue is very flat.
It's stiff.
Yeah.
It's a drama. They were just like, we're being dramatic.
Not just that though. It's
drama.
There's a stiffness to it.
Yeah, like drama. It tells me that there's going to be emotion involved in it. Like drama is.
You didn't get emotion from this movie.
No, like a lot of
what
the
about-
people. That's what I'm saying is that it's flat. It's like that the delivery of their lines, they didn't impose very much emotion to.
I can kind of agree. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
There was times where I was like, I should get goosebumps, but I did like tear up a couple times in this movie. But I do think there was something about being a parent,
right,
watching this,
yes,
having a
Well,
3-year-old, like literally,
and having
there's something about that, like,
because this movie. So, and that's what I'll say about this too is the family element. They get it right. They
Yeah.
do. And with all
Yeah.
these, and even thrown in the Thing, and like he feels like a part of the family. That's what I loved about the Thing, is
Yeah,
actually the Thing felt the most human of all the characters. He was so there's a baby in this film. They've shown it in the press stuff, so I don't feel like that's a spoiler. He's carrying around the baby and being the uncle and like just being sweet and nice, and he's cooking and playing and being goofy and cracking, but like cracking jokes on the other people, not in a like, hey, I want the audience to laugh, but just like I'm trying to lighten the mood of these very serious things that are happening.
Yeah.
He just felt so human and real to me, and I like that he's an old school classic Thing design with the big eyebrow and
beard.
The
Love
beard
the beard.
freaking
Man.
slaps.
Yeah.
Like,
I like the beard on him.
Thing with the beard looked great. And there's a point where he has a hat and a beard, and I'm like, this is a vibe.
And it's like the newspaper boy hat.
Yeah. Not that. Well, later, he has a ball cap. He has a backwards ball cap
towards the very
and a
end.
beard.
Not backwards.
I think it was maybe it was forwards. I don't know. He has a ball cap.
Yeah.
And it's like sitting on top of the eyebrow. It just looks great.
Yeah.
It was a cool vibe.
He's
But
in New York.
yeah.
But which is also kind of funny because knowing that actor, I associate him with
Chicago.
Boston or Chicago. Wait, was it
It's
Chicago?
That's the Bear.
The Bear is in Chicago?
I think so.
Yep.
I don't know.
That's why it's partially called the Bear, because that's where the football
Bears are?
Football team,
Is
the
that, is
Bears.
that a team, a sports team?
It's a sports
the
ball
Bears?
team. Yeah.
Okay. Either way, very separate. So it's hard to like, I don't know. It was he didn't do New York for me the way that somebody in New York. Not that it matters. Like it didn't affect
it's
it
an
at all.
alternative
But
timeline and everything.
Yeah. Well, and that is so. And also Kyle, what's up? Got you in the chat. How's it going, homie?
Zach.
Yeah, Zach's in here.
What up, bud?
So yeah, I think that the vibe of this, the period piece, like the tech, I mean, literally, like there's like one of the first scenes, they literally get the tech down to like there's a pregnancy test, and it looks like a retro futuristic pregnancy test. Like there's a like they really go to lengths to.
You still have to pee on it.
You just still have to pee
in
on
the
it.
future,
Right?
You have to pee on
the
that.
past, future.
That's right.
So
Past, future, past.
Yeah,
Mhm.
future past. But yes, but really the highlight, and you'll hear a lot of people talk about this, and without us getting too deep into spoilers, I think personally the highlight of this film, the best stuff where I felt like there was some of the most like emotional, just really cool moments, was the space stuff. There's some really cool space shit in this movie.
Yeah.
And it's
Agreed.
just a chunk in there, and when it's done really well. It felt like it could have been a Star Trek movie or something, or like a Interstellar.
Right.
Yeah.
Like that stuff was really cool. Here's a really great emotional moment in that point, somewhere in that bit.
Yeah, honestly,
that I
they
liked
could have just dialed in
on that.
They could have taken that and just dialed in that emotional impacts on the other parts of it, which
Elsewhere.
they try to do.
Right.
I just don't know if it was the writing or just the actors. They didn't have the ability to like portray those emotions, because there should have been several times where it should have been like goosebumps.
Bad actors.
Yeah.
It's the writing or the actors.
Or
I
just
don't
the
know.
direction towards them for this.
Sure.
I don't know what it was, but there were moments that just didn't hit as hard as they should have.
Yeah.
And it sounds like we're all pretty unanimous in that. And not only that, but Drunk 3PO and Mo Zamboni, we're all on the same page about this. So there's clearly something there that's just not landing when it comes to the delivery of some of this stuff that just didn't hit as hard. But I don't think any of these things make it a bad movie. Like, I think that this is a very well-made film. It looks great. This is one of the best looking Marvel films to date as far as just the direction of it. There are some shots in this film that are gorgeous. That just look great. Whether it be Galactus, whether it be there's some shots with the Silver Surfer, there's some shots in space. There's actually a couple with Miss Fantastic with Seuss that is like really good.
Yeah.
That I don't really want to like directly say since we're in spoiler free, but there was just some really good looking stuff. And then pairing that with the score, the music in this movie is next freaking level. It's great.
It's so crazy. Like normally I will pay attention to this stuff and it sticks out to me. The score did not stick out to me. I don't know if that's it. It's probably just a detriment to me not picking up on it.
Yeah, right.
And because it's probably a good thing that it blends in so well that I didn't actually pick up on it. But it didn't. There's at no point in the movie that do I like think like, oh God, the music was so good there. I'm sure it was great. It's just
really
something in my mind where it didn't trigger that like pay attention to this shit.
Honestly, I find like you don't want it to. It always blends with me. Good movies.
Yeah.
It blends with me. We actually watched a movie called The Sphere.
Oh, Sphere's great.
Fucking
It's
fantastic.
pretty good.
Pretty
It's
good.
pretty good.
It's a masterpiece.
No,
It's real good.
y'all watch that? Y'all killing me. Y'all
I've watched
kill me
it.
with your.
I haven't watched it
It's
recently.
okay. I watched it as a kid all the time. It's great.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Look, nostalgia's
the-
taking over.
yeah.
Okay.
The score was in your face,
Right.
and it was like to the point where I was like, oh man, this is taking me out of the moment because I'm hearing this music.
Sure. Yeah.
And they're like
Too
underwater,
much.
but it was just too much. I literally said that in my review. I was just like, the score takes you
It's
out of the movie.
overwhelming.
There's a
Yeah.
lot of really good things and cool things about the movie, but
Mhm.
the score,
Yeah.
and I normally don't notice it. Like in this movie, didn't notice it. Didn't know the score at all.
Yeah.
Which is a good thing because then it just does
Right.
the emotional work,
Exactly.
and I don't notice it.
Right.
Right.
So.
And I think for me, I just that stuff does stand out to me. I pay attention to, especially like on certain types of films. Whereas like, for example, with Superman, I was hyper paying attention to the score because Man of Steel is like literally my favorite. Like the score, the music in Man of Steel,
Yeah.
listening to it will make me cry. I think it is beautiful. The score for Man of Steel is
Holy
so
fuck.
good.
Really?
It's so good.
Yeah.
I love the score for Man of Steel.
Damn.
It's Hans Zimmer. Like he knocked it out of the park.
Well, he's the
He's
best.
the man.
Yeah.
But this one as well, there's a part when they're in space and the score changes to something totally different than anything else that was in the entire film. And it's when they're in a very intense moment. And I was just like, dude, this fucking sounds sweet. Like this is just, it stood out so much to me.
Yeah.
And it's interesting that it didn't to you guys.
You're more musically oriented
right.
than
Right.
Chris and I are, because being an musician and all that. Like, for me, it's just in one ear. It affects my brain however it does, and out the other ear.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
I mean, like music can affect me. I think it's like you said, Matt, is a compliment to this movie that they played it together so well that it meshed.
Right.
That it didn't stick out.
Right.
In my mind as being like something.
Right. It's really
above and
funny.
beyond.
We've got somebody in the chat calling me a shill. You know, the funny
quack
thing,
shill.
Yeah, of course. But you know, it's
yeah,
funny people
it's
say that
true.
where it's like we're not like, I'm gushing about the score because the score is great. The movie does look great, but I'm not saying that this is the best Marvel film. We all said that we don't say that this is the
no,
best thing ever.
honestly, the
Like,
first it
Mm.
was roughly like the 30 minutes. I was like, I'm bored.
yeah, because it's a slow
There
start.
was like, I need more. That's my problem with this movie, is there's not enough action. When there is action, there's not enough action.
Yeah.
Right.
So, and it's kind of like, this is a Marvel problem at this point, because even like the Thunderbolts, their action scenes were very short-lived.
Right.
And there were a couple of them, but they weren't enough.
And that is my biggest issue with this film is the action. Was that there wasn't enough of them Fantastic Fouring, like them being superheroes.
Yeah, and I've got bigger, more precise gripes with that specific thing.
Right.
But
it's interesting, you know, in the trailers that we barely see Reed being stretchy. I was
and that's my biggest gripe that I'm going to get into.
And that is the thing, is in the film he is stretchy only a handful of times,
and never like in combat. Really, it's just to be like, oh, I reached across the room.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a convenience.
Right.
thing.
He does it mostly for convenience.
It's just to remind us that he can stretch.
Right. Right. And I'm like, why is that? It's so weird. Like in the OG Fantastic Four movie, we saw him stretch more than in the first hour when they first get their powers than we did in this entire film.
I mean, even in Silver Surfer, the other movie, I mean, he's dancing, he's got his dance moves,
Right,
he's
right.
stretching all over the
Yeah.
place.
Okay, so we can get into it more, I guess, in spoilers, I guess, but like his main stretch thing where he's being stretched as a human being, literally and figuratively.
Right.
Was like minuscule compared to, I feel like in the
Right.
comics he stretched his arms around the world or some shit. Like he has extreme stretch.
Yeah, he's not
like,
as stretchy in this.
it's not like 15, 20 feet. We're talking about like this motherfucker can stretch
really long.
miles, right? Like, but in this, again,
Yeah.
I don't want to spoil it.
This is a more, which, and as Kyle said in the chat, is that yes, they lean, and I was trying to decide if I like that, because there is a component of that I kind of like, where his smarts really are kind of his superpower. Like that is the thing, is he's one of the most, if not the smartest man on earth.
Right.
Like that's supposed to be the whole thing. Interesting thing is, Pedro Pascal, as much as I thought he was fine in this,
He's
like
a
I
bad
was
smart
expecting
person.
he's what?
He's a bad smart.
He's a bad smart person. Yeah, I didn't buy that he
I
was
don't
that.
trust him.
I don't.
Yeah, no.
I don't buy that he's
No,
that
no.
smart.
He's not.
I don't buy it.
Which they kind of point out multiple times.
Right.
So it's not a spoiler, but like multiple characters have discussions with him being like, "You're not the smartest person. You're not the smartest person." Even though in the Marvel Comics series, like, wasn't he one of the Illuminati along with like Xavier and Iron Man or Tony Stark and Namor and stuff? So like he is the smartest person. Except they like to constantly tell him he's not.
Right. Well, I think that was just kind of in this movie is to knock him down a peg.
Yeah.
Because I mean,
make him human.
Right.
Like he made a
humanize him.
mistake to make them into the things that they are.
Right.
Yeah.
So
So I mean, you know, it's one of those things where there's things that it's kind of like with Superman, where it's like this hand in hand of like, I like that they leaned into his smarts, but also I didn't like that they didn't hardly let him be a superhero.
Well, and it's more like this movie more is like Susan Storm or Sue Storm.
Sue.
She is the main hero.
Kind of, but
she it's like
I don't.
She just gets more of the spotlight because like the Thing doesn't. He's because I mean there's 4 heroes, right?
Right.
Sue I feel is like the one that was the most forward, and then like Johnny.
But watching it, I don't think it like
and then Mr.
feels that
Fantastic and then back. That's how it felt to me.
Really?
Yeah, I can't agree 100% on that. I feel like Reed was the least super.
Yeah, he was the least super, but Matt is talking about even screen time, aren't you?
Screen time, I feel
Not
like
really screen time. They kind of showed them all equally, but most of them were just kind of hanging out in the background. A lot of the time.
Yeah, I feel like they do get a pretty equal.
I felt like it was kind of equal as far as screen time, personally. But I mean,
but I'm saying also them just being heroes.
Now being heroes,
doing heroic events.
They're not really. Honestly, Johnny was doing more superheroing than anybody.
Beyond, it was Johnny.
Yeah,
was the most
way more.
shown
He was
doing
flying around all over the place constantly.
Yeah, I guess
what did the
Sue
Thing
did
do?
Right,
The Thing
he
did
just smashes through a few
literally
things
nothing.
At the end of the movie,
Not even nothing. Okay,
Right.
okay, so he broke down a building.
Yeah.
But I mean, like actually attacking a person or a
Right.
being.
he did very little.
The only time that he
Yeah.
did that was when he was being carried by the torch.
Right.
Not to be spoilers, but
Yeah.
sorry.
No.
Maybe we should get into spoilers.
We can in a minute. Yeah, I think actually Johnny did the most because he even. Yeah, there's a scene where basically nobody fights and Johnny's the only one that fights.
Yeah.
On like 3 different occasions actually.
Yeah, true. He's 100% the most.
But the weird thing is I felt like the personality wasn't there. Like that was the thing with Chris Evans. Like he was just being a hotshot. He was when he's flying around, he's talking shit. When he's like, and this Human Torch doesn't do that.
That's true. He was not a smart mouth. I mean, he joked some, but he was not like a.
And I think that's kind of the problem is that all 4 of them feel a little samey. I think that's really what it is. They all kind of feel the same.
And that's my biggest problem with this movie is that it feels very flat. Like there isn't a lot of personality involved in any of the characters.
Right.
Like it's very just like cut and dry of like, I'm the smart one.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the Thing and Human Torch were the least because it was just like they didn't have any kind of personality involved with their character. It was just like I'm a playboy, but he didn't play the playboy.
Right. Except for just to talk about
sexy aliens.
Yeah,
like he enjoyed aliens and cool. Like that's great.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah. So this movie definitely isn't without its flaws, without a doubt. Is this like one of these, where everybody's hair was on fire? Oh, this movie's going to be the wokest thing ever. It's not a woke movie. Like it's
it's funny. I actually remember a lot of people being like this and this and this and that and this and this other thing. We've gleaned this all from the trailers and all that.
Right. Or
and
press.
literally I was thinking about that and I was like, none of that stuff happened. If anything, this is one of the more grounded, like family-centered movies. And honestly, it's a rare find.
Yes.
That's
that hard of a focus on family
oriented movie because that's not a thing nowadays. And most of the time it's a broken household or whatever,
which is how it begins. But
doesn't.
because she talks about how
she mentions how her
family, her childhood.
It's the beginning.
No, it's not the beginning.
They mention that later.
I mean,
way in the movie,
but that's how it starts, whether she mentions it or not.
Anyways, but yeah, I mean, I like the family element. I do not think that this is some, MCU thing. I do not think that, and like I'd say if it was, just, this is over, girl bossing, whatever. A lot of the things that people have been complaining about, none of that was there. It's interesting. Jeremy says, sounds like TMNT Mutant Mayhem for very different characters turned into the same character. And yes, dude, that was absolutely the biggest problem with that movie. The last animated Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is that all the turtles were kind of just the same character. They didn't have their individual specialties, even though they looked kind of different, had different weapons. They were still just kind of samey. Now, I do like that Turtles movie. I know he's not a fan at all. I did like it, but that was my biggest issue with it. And with this as well, is that they were all just kind of sciencey people. Like,
that was the interesting thing to see them also sciencey,
right? Which I mean, they are in the comics. That is more comic accurate, and that's why Johnny went. That's why that's why the Thing, like, he was the pilot. Like, he was. I do like that this Thing is smarter and more intellectual than the one from the old movies.
It wasn't just nepotism and like, I'm bringing my best friend along, and for whatever reason.
Yeah, honestly, in this movie, I did not have any problems.
No,
with them all being like on board to help, because they're all, and this is
they all
years
had
after they'd established themselves as the Fantastic Four, like, so they're all helping, and obviously Reed is the leader, and then Sue was the vocal point for them.
Yeah, she was the mouthpiece, he was the brains, and then Johnny and the Thing were kind of the backup guys. And I think that works well, and I think that they do have more personality than individual personality than the TMNT movie characters do, but it does still suffer from some of that. They are still too samey. Like, they needed to crank the Human Torch up a good 10 notches. They really needed to lean into, I don't know that he needed to be as far as the Chris Evans version, but I think that we needed to get closer to that.
They got along too well, basically. Which I kind of like.
I know
that they got along, but I understand what you're saying is that it's like there's not any conflict whatsoever between them. Which
there's something so refreshing about it, and you want it until you get it, and then you're like, shit, maybe there should have been.
God, it was so boring.
Right.
But I don't like unnecessary conflict. I think that's the thing, is that there has to be, there's a boundary between like excessive just conflict across the board where it's unnecessary and no conflict at all. I think there's a good balance that people can find where it's like, this doesn't like change the dynamic of the relationship completely. Like, I don't want people to hate each other. But if there can be like a level of like, let me set you on the right course because you're acting out a little bit. I don't know. It's a hard
line that they were walking, and it works and doesn't work at the same time. Similarly to some of the stuff in Superman, it's some of the same issues. It's very interesting that these movies, to me, are kind of having some of the same issues, just on a different side of the coin. It is an odd thing to have them right here together, for them to be these two tent poles. Everything's hinging on them, and they're both like, not bad. Now, can also say this, two things. I want to bring up Galactus in a second, but before I say that, I did want to bring up as well that in the theater, comparatively, if you were to look at our Superman last week when Matt and I went to see Superman, and this week with seeing Fantastic Four, I can tell you that just based off of this, there is a strong chance that this movie is not going to do as well as Superman. Just from opening night situation. The
crowds were very different vibes. Like, there was a couple chuckles in here, but Superman people were cheering.
And also just the amount of people at the theater. Superman was a packed out house, folks everywhere in costume, the whole thing. We weren't getting any of that with this movie. Now, there were people with Fantastic Four shirts and different things, but it just wasn't the same. It wasn't the same.
I don't think the Fantastic Four, in my mind anyways, maybe I'm a bad nerd, are that big.
They are for our parents' generation. They are the first family. They are. If you're over, honestly, you really kind of need to be over about 45 to 50. And then the nostalgia for the Fantastic Four goes up, I think.
I get it. You gotta be old.
Yeah, you gotta be old. I do think that audience caters or likes the Fantastic Four more. And they haven't stayed in the zeitgeist. They haven't, whatever. I mean, they're not Superman. They can't be. They're just not. But I will say they got a lot right. But we haven't brought up Galactus. Galactus is pretty badass. I liked him. I think Chris was so-ish.
I have plus and minuses.
Okay.
For sure. But
yeah,
I think overall I enjoyed Galactus.
I think he was a good Marvel villain.
100%. My qualms come from where you start the series off with. If you're going to have a fresh start of a new series, like start it off small. Like them fighting fucking Croc Man, right? Or whatever it is for Fantastic Four.
Like in this, where they just wanted to blast past all that because they're like 4 years into it, whatever.
But you're jumping to the person who destroys planets.
Right. It's like jumping to Thanos in the first movie.
Exactly. Yeah, it's so extreme. Like this is the almost penultimate of villains.
He's a god tier Marvel villain.
Right.
Yeah,
and
like
I think the only reason they did this
crazy
was because this is really just a stepping stone into the next movie. They
Right.
literally were just like, we're making this movie just to be a stepping stone into the next movie.
Who's the next bad guy? That's what I'm. That's my
Dr.
thing.
Doom.
Dr. Doom.
Is Dr. Doom more powerful than Galactus?
I don't know about more
That's
powerful.
the question.
He is honestly a more popular villain. He is probably Marvel's most popular villain.
Marvel's?
Yeah, one of Marvel's easily, if not Marvel's most powerful. People freaking love Dr. Doom. Like a lot. He's
sure. Okay.
I mean, it's kind of, we've got like your Marvel anti-heroes and different things, and you're like, your Magnetos, and you're like, so it does get a little hard, but it's like, as far as
There's a lot of them.
There are a lot of really good ones, but Dr. Doom, as far as especially one that we haven't really seen, especially in the MCU, he's definitely up there.
But he is pretty much wholly Fantastic Four, right? Like, I'm sure there are a lot of comics that he does branch into things, but that's the primary focus that he's involved with is Fantastic. Which obviously makes sense.
It depends on what you're watching, because I've been watching a lot of the Avengers cartoons with my son, and he pops up pretty regularly.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes. So I'm just like,
he's well, and the way that they handled this, and I'll say we can. It's hard to not talk about too much in spoilers, but I don't know that we have to totally be done with Galactus. Like, I don't know that it's kind of like how we got certain teases of Thanos and different things and whatever, where like in this movie, Galactus is kind of like Jaws. That's kind of how I view him in this movie. He functions kind of like a Jaws type character, and then at the end he shows up in full, you really get him. And so I think that it worked in that way. It's a very good MCU villain, but also it's not like we were sitting around for long periods of time while Galactus is pontificating and we are learning who he is as a character.
True.
Like, it's a different type of villain. It's like Jaws.
Yeah.
So I think that it works in that fashion. He has a lot of scale. It fits with the vibe of this film, how he looks and all of that.
I liked him.
The look?
I think he looked cool.
He looks
I don't know much about his character except that he's a world destroyer, and I enjoyed the way he was portrayed in this movie.
100%.
So
agreed.
Right. So I like all of that. I think that there's a lot right, and then there's stuff that's wrong. And if we, as the one person said, if we sound like shills, I guess it is what it is. If anybody knows, we will definitely call out something if it's not good.
That's the thing.
I'm shilling.
Shills.
Right.
We just talk honestly how we like things.
Right.
I don't know who I'm shilling for.
Right.
I'll shill for it right now.
Right.
Shilling
no freaking shit. Yeah. Start paying us. I mean, I'm saying.
Then we'll shill for money too.
And so the interesting thing here, before we get into the spoilers, I did want to pull this up one more time. With the critical score, we have more voters. We're at 33 now.
It's gone down 1%.
It has gone down 1%. So I'm guessing we've got a low review that came. Oh, nope. Oh, yes, we did. We got two more. So we did get a low one from whoever Beauty and Death is. So yeah, so we got a 29%, but Ponder gave it a 79. Whereas it's the ones like these, we aren't having a lot of these. This is the difference between this movie and Superman.
Well, they also did not write what they thought about the movie. So
they didn't. So I'll leave that as a, maybe you saw it, maybe you didn't. But so we've got 100% though from Comic Sans here. We got Rogue Attraction, who might have even been in the chat. I don't know.
Comic Sans? Is that one of the people?
We did. We got
That's
Comic
a
Sans.
great name.
Yeah.
Comic Sans?
Sans, like the font.
The font?
That everyone hates.
Comic Sans.
And
there's our podcast.
Yeah.
Just
but
all right.
Yeah.
Take it back.
but Rogue Attraction gave it an 83. But then we've got a 50 from Xander Cell. We got S Knight with a 70. Vex Electronica, one of our regulars, with a 50. And then we got Goldstein here with a 70. We got Rhombus with a 75. 65 from Smallville. So there's a lot of rads here, which honestly, like, yeah, there's not a lot of most excellence, but rad isn't a bad place to be. Like, I don't know if rad...
It's not a bad movie.
No, it's not a bad movie. And interesting, Terrapin just says, Shalabal, I'll see you soon. And so, yeah, I'm interested as to what that is. And then he just dropped a video. So maybe he's going to drop more review later. But yeah, well, we got Dreaming Tabitha, gave it a 60% as well. Golden Dude Movies, 85. Mo Zamboni, 60, and Drunk for 3PO, also a 60. If I gave him the treatment he gives me, I would downvote this, but I'm going to be nice and not.
Considering it's close to your own opinion.
Right. Oh, well, no. I can give a score, an opinion like even higher than him, and he'll still downvote me on a movie he loves. He just loves to give me downvotes. But Disney Man, 51. So we've got some
downvoting
in here.
is addicting.
It is. There's something about it, especially when you know there's an account that can't see them versus our paid accounts. If you pay for Criticless, and you are one of our paid users, then you can see downvotes if you are in the most excellent, just so you know. So, but then we got Zeke the Wise, 87, James Bean, a 90. We got a 50 here. Crisco at a 70, who's in the chat, and did a spoiler review, so I'm not going to dig into that yet.
That's the thing for me. Like, if I was more into dramas, I could see being like, this is like a most excellent movie.
Right.
It just, I need more action in my movies.
Right, and there's
simple.
Not a ton, and that honestly, I didn't hate about this. I didn't necessarily mind it, but Master Roo gave it a 45. One of our regulars, Odin, also gave it a 55, which is not a bad from Odin. But early on, we got two pretty negative ones, two boguses. The interesting thing here, though, to note as we've kind of scrolled through these, is that there are no heinouses. So that is saying something, and I can say that this movie, at least, is not doing as bad as Superman was.
Yeah, there's a plenty. If you pulled up the Superman, I don't think you should.
Yeah,
but there's plenty of people that are like, this movie's
0% is terrible.
Yeah, there's plenty of 0% and stuff. Half of me thinks those people just didn't even see a movie.
Yeah, I don't know.
There's plenty of people that did, and you could tell they did see it, but they went in gear and gunning to not like it.
Right, gunning. Yeah. But and it's still so Superman's at a 54% by almost 300. We're at 290. So if you haven't if you haven't left a review, leave one. We'd love to hit 300. That'd be awesome. But it does seem like, at least at the very least, that Fantastic Four is going to be probably higher reviewed than Superman. So that is an interesting thing, especially with the
score wise, or just more people.
I think if
we're lagging hard, there we go. There we go. Sorry guys, we're lagging.
I think if people went and saw Superman again, not that I understand you don't want to like support a movie you didn't like or whatever.
Right.
I think y'all's score would go up, and I still
and mine went up.
And I think did you up your score on?
I upped it by like 15, 20 points.
So you went up to most excellent?
No, I'm in rad. I'm steadily in red. I'm at like a 72, 73.
Yeah.
So, and as Comics Dad was saying, a lot of people were just like giving Superman crap for freaking clicks. Like, and we talked about it on his show. Go sub to Comics Dad. Cool dude, great channel. And I was on it last week after this show. But yeah, so I think it's going to be interesting what shakes out with this. I think it will. It's showing signs of definitely being a higher rated movie than Superman. But as far as being better, I don't know.
But the question is, will it have as many reviews? Because I feel DC
I don't think it will. It
draws more people to it
now
because they don't crank out as many movies.
Right.
Marvel,
it's more of an event,
cranks out 3 movies a year,
which they haven't been of late.
This is only the thing is if someone goes see Captain America and they're like, oh, I hate this, I'm done. I'm tired of the bullshit surrounding Disney.
Right. Well, and after, I mean, you want to talk about a movie that people hated, Captain America: Brave New World, like freaking sack of dog shit. I
disagree.
You were one of the 5 people that liked that movie.
Hey, I liked it. My wife liked it.
It's a bad movie.
It's a decent movie.
It is a terrible movie for Captain America fans.
Yeah, Captain America's overrated.
Or Marvel in general. It is bad.
I've never seen it. I don't.
You will fucking hate it. It's dumb.
I don't want to.
No, if he says that, you'll hate it.
Yeah.
No, it sucks. This is so. The interesting thing though is compared to Thunderbolts, and that was the thing that Jay asked me earlier, was compared to Thunderbolts, like where do I sit with it? is actually, I personally like Thunderbolts better. I know some people really hate that movie, but I think that Thunderbolts is a better film, and I think you will like Thunderbolts a lot, Chris. It's on streaming now, so you could probably catch it. It's
you could find it somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I have not been on the super
I know.
But that's what's interesting about Thunderbolts. It's not
overly superhero-y.
Yeah, but that's the premise behind it. Like, there's not some. Well, I mean, maybe there is some subtext that I'm not.
No,
aware
I mean,
of,
there's
but
definitely some
it's-
superhero stuff in there, but it's just a different type of film. So
Yeah.
let's put it this way: if you're planning on going to see Fantastic Four, just keep your expectations neutral, and chances are you'll probably think it's decent or above. Most people seem to be in Criticless right now. That's kind of where we are. Is decent above, and Chris is even a high decent. Like this is not a bad.
I think he's a low decent.
Oh, is your opinion going lower? Well, because you said like a 59. Yeah, that's a mid to high decent.
That is a high decent.
Yeah.
It's above 50.
Yeah.
But less than 60.
Right.
Okay. So really narrows it down
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah. You're in that upper decent range. So I mean, either way though, this is not a bad watch. I think that it's not like I don't think that this movie's gonna hurt Marvel, but I also don't know that it's gonna be this big giant boom that Marvel needs for this brand.
I don't think Marvel's going to have a big boom. I think even the next two movies.
Yeah.
I think they're going to come out. They'll be okay. People are going to be like, these movies are fine. But I honestly don't think they're just putting too much into these movies too quickly, and it's just not going to work.
They're not willing to take risks, is what it really feels like.
Right.
Yeah. It's like you have to be willing to like put something on the line. Well, I mean, I guess I can't really say that because I feel like maybe Echo and all these other shows were probably risk takes for them, even though they didn't work out well. So
well, they could have been easy wins, is what's crazy. Some of their failures could have been easy wins, and they could have talked to a handful of actual fans that would watch it versus catering to people that don't care about this stuff,
right?
And just making a failure, and also hiring people that weren't the right people for the jobs as well. They're clearly doing a lot of that. I think that's the thing is, for the most part, they hired people that were decent with the job, but still, like we said, there was still some. This movie is not without its problems. So, just know that if you're going to see it, I think that versus Superman, like if you got kids, like Superman is a more kid-friendly movie that you'd probably say still older kid.
Kids will be more
like
entertained.
Kids will be more entertained in that movie. But yeah, so it's kind of one of those things. If you're totally burnt out on Marvel, this is something a little different. A little. It just kind of depends.
I am one of those burnt out people, and this was a 50-ish%.
Right.
So yeah.
Right. So yeah, just know that going in. We're going to get into spoilers now, guys. If anybody has to leave, thanks for joining us. Make sure to hit the like button down below, all that stuff, share it, let people know we're doing the show. And thanks for subbing to the channel, all that stuff. And we will, for you guys, just so you know, we'll be back next week reviewing something. I don't know yet.
Yeah, something I don't know.
I don't know if we're doing like a new movie or if we're going to do something. But it has also been discussed. We discussed it with Mo Zamboni that at some point soon we are going to be doing a review of The Room. And we are actually going to be doing a double feature of not only The Room, but we're also going to talk about The Disaster Artist, the movie about The Room.
I like how we've discussed this once for like 5 minutes.
But it's happening. Well, we've talked about it
an hour ago.
It'll probably happen fairly soon. We had just locked it in, so that's not next week. But it's clearly
Could
something.
be next week.
I doubt it's next
We
week.
don't know
Who
anything.
knows? We don't really know what's going on around here. So yeah, but and I agree with Jeremy Allen. The Echo could have actually been very good, and yeah, it could have. But they decided to make an epic failure instead.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But all right, guys, it's going to be spoilers all the way down from here. We're going to run the spoiler thing, and just know that we're going to spoil some things. Spoil it. Yeah. So the spoilers. Yeah. So Chris, I know that you had some spoiler stuff you really wanted to touch on.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's just Galactus as a whole. It's a weird place to start for me. Like as a villain, it's pretty high tier. Like,
oh no,
there's
it's God
only
tier. It's
like
one of the highest tiered like villains.
Yeah, like how many people can actually defeat Galactus?
Right.
It's
Which and they
very
didn't technically like defeat him, and he's not dead.
Yeah, they just moved him.
Yeah, they moved him to another part of the galaxy. Is that right?
Yeah, exactly. They have a teleportation.
Yeah, and they're like, he
device.
doesn't have a ship. He can't get to us ever again. I'm like,
Right. Except for you have a herald that can travel faster than the speed of light.
Right.
Well, he has powers of sorts. I don't know his powers.
We don't
full
know all
extent,
of his
but-
powers, but he definitely has powers.
Yeah.
I highly doubt that he can't travel. I'm just guessing that he can't travel as easily or as fast without his ship.
Right.
So,
And I don't know enough about the character to say whether or not he was primarily a machine, because that's what they made it out to be in this show.
right. He was a
or
human
movie.
surrounded by mechanics of some sort.
Yeah, well, like all of his power seemed to come from his machine body ran by magma.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. I don't know enough about it to say whether or not it was accurate, but they just kind of it felt downplayed for what his power is. You know, I don't know.
Well, and I think that that's kind of the thing, is that we weren't getting full force. Like he was not thinking that he was going to encounter any real adversaries, because he hasn't been. And that's the thing is, and they just barely stopped him. And with Sue going Super Sue Storm and just pushing him to death, literally herself to death. So yeah, so I mean, there is that. I like how they handled him. I loved, as far as we talked about a little bit earlier, but with the space stuff, and the emotional moments, one that really got me, Sue gives birth in space while they're in light speed. All that shit was
while
awesome.
no, it wasn't while in light speed, while whipping around a black hole.
Yes.
She gives birth.
Yes.
It was a neutron star, man. Splitting hairs.
Whatever. Splitting hairs. But I was like, wow, this is the most epic way to give birth to anything.
It was.
But it's also cool talking about like nuclear family and all that jazz. Like for Marvel to be like, here's a husband and wife having a baby, which Marvel, I don't think ever really talked about. I mean, we have Iron Man and Pepper Potts. We have Scarlet and Vision.
Right.
Pseudo having 2 kids.
But nothing like this. No really deep dive family stuff like this.
Right. And that's where this one hits emotionally for me, was that this is family, super family oriented. And of course, you know, Flash and the Thing, or not Flash, Human Torch and the Thing, or uncles and doing like uncle duty, and there is the baby, which I know, Chris, you have beef with the CGI baby.
The CGI baby did look like shit.
The CGI.
Yeah. That was agreed.
Every time the baby was CGI, which, and I understand why, because there were multiple points where the Thing had to handle the baby, and you're like, how do you do this?
CGI on CGI.
CGI on CGI. That's hard to do.
It was also floating in space and stuff.
Right.
Like,
yeah. It's
not
just
great.
No, the CGI baby was not great. Now, sometimes the baby was real, I think.
Oh yeah.
And it looked
For
good.
sure.
But then other times it did not. But I did like the stuff with the Thing and the baby, and I like how he was really leaning in. He was almost leaning into the uncle stuff more than Human Torch was, than Johnny was, and he just seemed like such a sweet character. I really liked how they did it, and and I like that they didn't lean super hard into the woe is me, I'm the Thing, I'm ugly and big,
100%.
like, because that was just, they hammered that in the first series.
Right. This one, nobody ever commented on it.
No.
Which is an interesting thing, because they were just like, oh, he's the Thing, he's cool. And nobody commented on how he looked like the Thing.
Right.
It was, like you said, it was just all like, oh, you're a hero, cool.
Right. And
I
like that.
Yeah, it was the most subtle of like wisps of just like, I kind of wish I was that old person.
Right.
Like, it was not the focal point of the character by any means, which I do really like. None of them really had huge conflicts with each other.
Right.
Like unreasonable conflicts.
Right.
I love that it was things that they were able to talk through, and it was just like a normal actual beef. It wasn't just like some movie style disagreement where people were having like extreme unreasonable perspectives on things and not being rational. I think they did that great.
Right.
But I almost to a detriment to where like
it
there
pulls
was
out a little bit of the drama.
Yeah, there was
the
so
character
little
interaction.
going on in this movie that like maybe a little bit of confusion.
Well, that was like the Thing wandering around.
Yeah.
His old like stomping grounds. I was like, this feels so random. And I guess we're supposed to be like getting this emotional impact because he's like visiting his old neighborhood. And he does it like 3 or 4 times because then
he's
he gets
always
evacuated.
walking through that place.
But it was just so weird because it's just like, I guess he's just thinking about his past. But they don't say that. He's just walking around eating a cookie, talking to a chick. Like,
Right.
It just that there should have been some way. Like, let's say they had some conflict and he like storms out and he goes walking around his own like stomping grounds. Like he and Johnny get in a fight.
Right.
Like actual like heated argument.
Right.
And he like storms out or whatever and goes walks
or
and
even
pulls
if
off.
right. Or if they make up in the same scene, like it's just kind of a thing, a little bit of conflict, a little bit of depth to help kind of flesh out these characters. There just wasn't a lot of that. And
yeah, they were just like, oh, we're fun and we work off each other fine.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's a really hard thing to navigate. And
they were like almost too amiable.
Right,
Like,
right. So, but as far as we talked about too, like the fight scene at the end was like one of the only fight scenes in the whole film.
Yeah,
and just wasn't.
I would even call that a fight scene.
No, it was barely a fight
push.
scene. It was just
Right.
trying to stop. This is the problem with fighting something like Galactus. They're
Right.
fighting an unstoppable force, and the same for Quicksilver. The character Quicksilver is like an
Quicksilver,
unstoppable. Silver Surfer.
Silver Surfer. Yeah, I was like,
they're like unstoppable characters.
Right.
So you have to use emotion to stop them.
Right. Which is fine. It's just a matter of how you can carry that out. And I think, they handled it fairly well. It's just that there wasn't a whole lot of it. I think that there probably just needed to be some earlier stuff with some other villains to kind of help push this along a little bit. But also you don't want it to overstay its welcome. So that's a hard thing to navigate. I wonder if there was a cut of this film with how Mole Man was kind of a pivotal thing, if there was more that they filmed with him and maybe even some action scenes and stuff.
Yeah.
I am curious if there was more of that to this film that maybe just didn't make it in the final cut. Because it feels like there could have been, because he seemed like he was kind of their big villain and there was some weird beef between him and Mr. Fantastic and stuff that we never really got to see.
Right.
So
yeah, I mean, they kind of fleshed it out a little bit. I mean, it wasn't complete. I think in like the angst between them. Obviously, he was a villain and tried to like save the building, and then Sue was able to like be the voice and was kind of the diplomat in the situation.
Right.
So
and see, it was one of those things where I felt like that was a previous movie or should have been a previous movie.
Right.
That we had. Because like to your point, Chris, where Galactus is not your first movie villain.
No.
He's your third movie
He's your
trilogy.
Thanos.
Yeah. Like, and that is an issue with this movie. And I think this movie is just supposed to be a skipping stone to the next movie.
Right. Well, where do you go from Galactus? Like who in
like you said,
in this
Dr.
universe?
Doom, which they
Apparently
teased,
this
we didn't bring it
Dr.
up.
Doom. Apparently this
Dr.
Dr.
Doom.
He can be, but you're also okay. So you're going from God to fucking God plus one. It's like, okay, so you're
still starting on higher level villains.
Exactly.
It's the problem when you're this deep into the MCU, I guess. And when they were using they were trying to use Fantastic Four to help save this franchise, which has been having trouble. Franchises in MCU as the whole. And they were trying to bring this in, and they're like, hey, we got to pull out all the stops, because if we don't get another legit win, we're in fucking trouble.
Yeah.
And I think that's why we got this. I don't really mind it. I don't mind Galactus being the first villain, just because we didn't fully, like, we got him, but we didn't fully get him. It wasn't
they didn't
real
defeat him. They
no,
just
they didn't
moved
defeat
him.
him.
Right.
Yeah, they literally just moved him to another location.
Sure.
And I mean, there's potentially more that we can get with Silver Surfer and stuff too, or I don't know. I'm really curious to see where all this goes, and if we're going to get more of all of them, or either of these characters. I have no idea.
Typical Marvel, they're probably never going to bring up Galactus or Silver Surfer again.
They might not.
Because how many characters have we gotten that they just like, and these are really good villains that just get shelved or put away, and you never hear from them again. That's another problem the Marvel movie series has had. We have these villains that should be reoccurring in some manner, and they just have decided to like, one and done them, for whatever reason.
The one thing I will say that I enjoy about this is that they teased it, but they did not move into the multiverse section. They talked about it,
but
they never. I was waiting, which is kind of my thing for this movie. Like I was thinking about, like this movie, it constantly felt like I was waiting for the thing to happen, and not the thing as in the
honestly
character.
Was because the end of this is a spoiler for the Thunderbolts, the post credits, but the post credits of the Thunderbolts was the Fantastic Four ship warping in to
the main MCU.
So not the 828 universe, but the 626
mainline MCU,
whatever it is called.
Okay.
And so I was expecting, and I kept waiting. I literally was just like, okay, is this movie going to end with them getting a cry from a different dimension? and it didn't. I was just like, well,
I'm kind of cool with that though, honestly. I'm kind of cool
I just kind of hated
like
that
it.
Thunderbolt. My beef is more that Thunderbolts.
We got a
teased it,
bigger tease
and
with
I
Thunderbolts.
expected it.
Right. I get that. And at the same time, there's like a part of me that's like, I'm also okay not having it. I was trying to remember what was the second post credits. I don't even remember what it was. Oh, it was
For
a
this
cartoon.
one?
Yeah, it was just a cartoon.
It was
So
dumb.
it doesn't matter.
It was like,
just like
I thought it would
was
have been
enough.
better if that was a Fantastic Five cartoon.
right. And they
And it
added the
was-
baby or something.
Right, and it was literally like in The Incredibles.
Yeah.
Where the baby's just
The
kind
Jack
of doing
Jack?
a Jack Jack-esque baby.
Yeah.
Sham.
Which that's we didn't talk about. Or were you guys cool with the baby bringing her back to life?
No.
Okay.
Honestly, I was kind of.
I knew it was going to happen.
I was excited that
I
they were
knew it was
actually
gonna
going to
happen
kill a
too.
character. And I was like,
there's no way in
I
hell
can't
they're gonna
believe
kill
they're
Sue.
killing a character. And then the baby, I was like, oh, I'm fine with it.
Right.
I guess it was just more, I was like excited for them to actually kill
somebody.
character.
There was no way they were going to kill a
Who would you
mainline
ever
baby.
kill a character?
Well, especially not one of the Fantastic Four. That'd be fucking wild.
Yeah. Which I didn't like it because I enjoyed Sue the most
Right,
out of them.
You're like,
so
"Yeah,
I
don't
didn't
kill Sue."
want her to die. But I wanted there to be some kind of permanent
More stakes.
repercussions. Yes.
Right. They
Right.
should have killed the robot. Because he was.
All right. Well, that's a little harsh. All right.
He was great. Did you like the robot?
Herbie-
We haven't talked about Herbie.
I loved
I like
Herbie
it.
because Herbie didn't have a voice.
Yeah.
I enjoyed
Yeah.
having just beep boops
Yep.
where people
Mhm.
interpreted it
Yep.
as a machine,
Right.
and that was it.
And I like
Loved
that he had tapes in his face.
Yeah. It wasn't Alan Tudyk
Right.
doing the Alan Tudyk thing.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Like he does in Superman.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Is he a robot?
Literally, he's a robot in Superman.
Yeah.
Yeah, you call.
He's a great robot. Never seen
He's an
it.
American one this time, though. He's
Trying to think of when he's not American.
Oh, well, like Star Wars. He's very British in Star Wars as a robot in Rogue One.
He does not have a British accent.
Yes, he absolutely does. I will bet you $1 million right now. I'm that sure.
I will suck your dick right now.
No, you tell that to people listening. That's you're already on the record doing that more than once. So yeah, he does. He has a very British accent. Yeah.
I don't remember.
Yeah, I'm very sure. But yeah, no, that's basically it for spoilers. I think though. I think that this movie's fine. I think that the critical score is going to probably stay a rad, which I think is good for Marvel, but also maybe not as great for Marvel. I don't know. So we'll see. But
yeah, I just don't think this was the launching point they needed.
Yeah, I don't know that it was that.
So I will be curious. I will say, like we mentioned earlier, I pined on it, but the set itself, like when the buses were driving underground,
right?
I was like, I love. Like the buses were so like 70s. This is a random thing.
I loved all
but, like the buses all had like the curved
time period
window
shit was
roofs and
The
stuff.
time
and I
period
was
stuff
like,
was the
cool.
best stuff in the whole
Fantastic.
movie,
Yeah.
which we're
Loved
going to lose because they're going to mainline modern our timeline.
Yeah.
That
Unless
was
they go
my
back to their
favorite.
timeline afterwards,
Right.
try to do a follow-up movie.
They could.
They could. Galactus comes back and they have to
Right.
try to figure out how to defeat him again because they won't be able to do a time travel.
That'd be
thing.
cool. I wouldn't hate that.
Yeah.
Eventually.
Yeah.
Look, Interby takes us all.
Right.
I did
Galactus
like the
could
whole
be
idea
the
that they were going to like transplant the whole
The
Earth.
Earth.
And I
Yeah.
was like, that's a really cool concept. It would never work. Somebody, but then it was funny.
they
They're like,
didn't-
we need to drop all of our electricity, and then they showed
Right.
the Fantastics, and they had their like TV and lights on. I'm like,
Well, no, they went through the time things though, like with him not being able to shave his beard.
yeah,
They were
Yeah.
out of power
Yeah.
too.
But I did like that whole concept, and then
Yeah.
it failed.
Yeah.
I was like, cool.
Yeah, they did some cool stuff. There were some
Yeah.
things that really did impress me fairly well. So
Yeah.
I mean, it is what it is. It's not the best of the year, and I'm curious, like with people like Miss Criticless, who's back in the chat. I'm curious, like with people like her who really liked WandaVision.
Yeah.
Like if she will even like this even more, or if she'll be around where we are, or
Well, there's
and, like, with
also
my kids and
like the whole
Mhm.
Ozarks, which
Right.
is the chick who plays Silver Surfer.
She's a Silver Surfer.
Your
girl
wife
from Ozark.
loves
That's
Ozarks.
true. That's true. And she did a solid job in this. So
She did great. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I'm
think
curious-
Silver Surfer was great in this.
I'm there are certain people that I'm interested where they would sit with this, just due to the vibe and the feel and the lightheartedness, the fact that it is more of a drama instead of a superhero movie.
Right.
Like I think that there will be people that really like it a lot for that.
If you're waiting for a drop in this movie, don't. That's all I gotta say. Is like it is what it portrays itself to be. There's not a big surprise. There's not a big reveal. It's all just kind of like this is the flow of the movie, and how it begins is fairly similar to how it ends.
Right.
Would y'all disagree with that? Like, there's not some big reveal or surprise. It's all
Yeah.
pretty like
Right.
this is how it goes.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not like an M. Night Shyamalan kind of
Right. There's
movie.
not some big crazy twist.
Yeah, there's no twist. There's no surprise. It's just like
right.
I mean, I guess
what
the
we're telling
twist
you
is
is
that Galactus shows up, and they have to find a way to defeat.
and they don't really
World Ender.
they're not like shying away from that.
Right.
Yeah.
It is what it portrays itself to be.
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, if you're looking for something more whenever you're watching it, you're not going to get it. It is what it says it is.
Right. It's just
Take it
simple
or leave
little movie. It's it's a small.
I'm not saying that's
it's
good
a
or
big
bad.
scale, but also smaller scale movie. Like it's not. I don't know. It's a tight, contained film. It's not trying to do anything else big outside of what this film is doing. So take that or leave it how you will.
Yeah.
For now. Next
for
time
now.
though.
We'll
So
see.
well, that's the thing. It's funny because you say that for this movie. The next movie is going to have like 1,000 characters in it.
Right.
Because I'm
yeah.
pretty sure I saw they were going to bring in like all like the TV show characters. I think I saw some comment about like Moon Knight will be in it and stuff. Like all these characters they've like kind of made things about and then kind of wrote off.
Yeah.
So
I enjoyed Moon Knight.
Yeah. I mean, I did too. A lot of people hate on Moon Knight. I liked it. But
it was good.
Yeah. I don't know. Everybody, you're going to like what you're going to like. But yeah. So, all right. I think that's going to be it for Fantastic Four, guys. I might actually go very quickly for a few minutes and pop over to WDW Pro's channel because they were sending me a link earlier. If they are still streaming, and we will probably actually no, I have no idea how to rate over there. But anyways, I won't even. I'm not even going to try that because I've never done it before. But and it wouldn't matter to them anyways because they're massive. But anyways, so guys, thanks for hopping into the chat. Hopefully we gave you some more insight into whether you should see this movie or not, or just some more discourse into it if you have seen it. And let us know your thoughts. Drop your reviews in Criticless. We definitely want to know, see, hear those, and get your thoughts on the movie. And but that's going to be it for today's episode. Like I said, next week I have no idea exactly what we're going to do. We got to chat about that and kind of hash it out. But we're going to do our send-off songs, guys. We're going to send you off with a song. Chris is not prepared, so I will go ahead and start with mine. I'm going to do a song that my kids, I've had to listen to the edited version, but there's a song called Hollywood by YG and the Shoreline Mafia. But YG is like the big artist. The song's called Hollywood. This is a rap song that sounds like it would have came out in the 2000s. And the music video, what caught my attention was the music video is just a bunch of dudes in suits like synchronized dancing to this rap song. And it was just like, it feels like some Will Smith stuff like from back in the day.
Oh yeah.
It's an old school rap song. It's about like smoking and drinking and doing ratchet stuff. Yeah,
perfect for
very
the
not well. A lot of that is edited out, like I said.
Yeah.
But the other thing is that there's a line in the chorus which is talking about like getting all the ladies to come over, and he's like, and there's no baby oil, which is a pretty great shade on Diddy.
Yeah.
So yeah. Chris, you were so out of touch with culture. You don't even know about.
I was like, "What's
oil.
wrong with baby oil?" I mean, I don't use it then.
Goodness. So yeah, Hollywood by YG. That's my song. It's a rap song.
It's funny they brought up Will Smith. Did you guys see that he tried to like rekindle his rap career because he like did this? It was like a block party going on, and he like performed like a new song, and nobody cared.
Yeah,
that Will Smith was there or B performing a song for them. And I was like, yeah, it makes sense. Will Smith's rap career
right
was like short-lived and not that great.
Hey now
hold on.
Hey
Big
now.
Willie style.
Big Willie style was huge.
Slapped.
I'm
Still
just saying
got it
it
on
wasn't
cassette.
It's because we're all white boys. Or you guys are white boys.
Everyone loved Big Willie style. Everyone.
Yeah.
And what about Summertime, brother? You just missed the boat on that one, I think.
Yeah.
But no, he didn't have a long rap career though. But Big Willie style was awesome
because it wasn't a good rap career.
If you want to treat your mother white and right, it's very like PG rap.
Yeah, it's PG
good.
rap.
Well, that's why I remember why it didn't do well. It was PG rap, so it's like,
oh,
a
you wanted
certain
a
crowd
hard
could listen
bit.
to it, and
You
the other
wanted to go
crowds
do
were like,
crimes.
"This was lame."
Yeah.
No one thought it was lame. Get out of here. No one thought Will Smith's rap was lame. You just ask everybody from the 90s. You're clearly just too young.
That's a specific
even my
crowd
wife,
there.
Big Willie style's goated.
That's
Back.
a very specific crowd there thinking those thoughts.
All right, go ahead. Your terrible opinions, Matt.
That's fine. I will. Don't Talk by Our Mirage.
Okay.
And Christopher Christensen.
Okay.
It's a nice little metalcore.
Nice.
Heavy metal little song.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's enjoyable, very melodic with lots of nice screaming.
Sick.
Nice screaming.
So
nice. Screams.
Yeah.
Loved it.
Nice. And what was that again?
It's Our Mirage. Or
Okay.
Don't Talk by Our Mirage.
Nice.
Like
OUR. Like
Got it.
you, mine,
Week,
mine, yours,
hours.
hour.
Yeah.
Nice.
Not
Okay.
Not the timeline.
Yeah. Got it.
Sweet.
And Chris,
what you got?
I have, because I don't have anything, I'm just going to go with a high school favorite. They probably don't exist anymore. It's a person named Patrick Park. And the song is called Life is a Song. It's just fucking old school. I think this is one of those songs I was talking to you about, Blaine.
Right.
That was on the OC because fucking every good song was on the OC. Yeah. It's just a high school throwback song. They don't make music anymore, I'm sure.
Right.
He could be dead. I don't know.
A lot of them are like resurging right now. So who knows?
They're on. He's probably on tour, and I don't even know.
Right. I mean, there's been a lot of that happening lately too. So who knows what's happening with them? But yeah, check all those out. And guys, I think that's going to be it for tonight. But we will be back next week. Everybody, take it easy. Have a good one, and let us know what your thoughts are on Fantastic Four. Later,
everybody.
Peace.